Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ludo History. We're back with more Assassin's Creed Valhalla, as always. I'm Adam, and today we're going to be doing more of the random quests that we weren't able to do last time. Which means we've got 2 bonus quests. Actually, let's load up the manual save here, instead of the autosaves. Where are you? Manual save. Should be this one. Oh boy, are we ready to jump in the swamp? You know it. So yeah, today we're going to be taking on a handful of things. We're going to be doing the Yule seasonal event. We're going to be doing the Way of the Berserker quest. And we're going to be doing the Beowulf quest. The Way of the Berserker quest was a pre-order bonus for this game. And the Beowulf quest is the first piece of DLC. Oh, there it is. The fire burned out for a moment. So pretty much the entirety of the Yule event is like right here. There's 2 quests associated with it. There is one if we build this brewery, which we need to do, and then one with a thing we can't build yet. We need to get up to level 3 in order to build the next thing, the cattle farm, for the other half of that quest. So we'll see if we even make it that far. We should be able to, though. I'll do some raids in East Anglia while we're cleaning up quests over there, which should help our cause. And yes, to everyone, happy holidays, Gladel Tiol in Icelandic. Now we only need to build like 3 more things, so we'll do raids out in East Anglia, and that should give us enough stuff to be okay.
I've got some new.
Do you?
May I see your store?
Do you see? Yeah. What do you have?
Perfection.
You have a bow and another bow.
A smart decision,
Perfect.
Eivor. You should buy that. Tempted?
And then a whole bunch of these. Let's see if any of these are really bad.
Eivor, yes. This is the brilliant choice.
We're gonna spend like all of our money here on tattoos just for you guys to torture me, because, you know, as always, you can help determine my gear, my tattoos, what my longship looks like, all of that stuff, using the change my gear things. I have not found the truly terrible ones yet, but we are working on it.
I imported this with you in mind. This is going to look so good. Done shopping?
Okay, there's enough of that.
I must be.
So,
Don't be a stranger.
thank you, Yanni. Anyway, let's build another thing here. Nope, that's just a cosmetic. We don't have the good stuff for that. Amazing. What do we have the stuff for? Are we able to tell what we have the stuff for, or is it just kind of a guess and have fun? I think it's just guess. Cause, yeah. It doesn't look to me like we're able to really build anything right now with the stuff we have. But
good day.
We do have this.
You I do not recognize, my
Oh.
friend. What brings you to settle here? Are you merchants?
Ah, hello, hello. Are you the leader of this bustling encampment? We come on behalf of 1,000 eyes.
I'm glad we
vendors
can
of
totally
uncommon
have
goods
meaningful
and
dialogue.
exotic treasures from all corners of the world. If you need it, we have it. If we don't have it, you don't need it. Such is our pledge.
I see. And is this child with you?
Uh-huh.
Child?
Child.
Well, everyone say hello to Reda.
You look upon the master of the 1,000 eyes, the head of our guild, a legend, a hero of the people, and the richest merchant west of the Indus, you look upon Redda.
He means you?
He does, Eivor Wolf-Kissed. It
I-
is a pleasure to meet you at last.
You seem strangely familiar.
That's because you were in
Perhaps we
Origins
have met in
and
another
Odyssey.
life, but most likely, I have a common face.
Is that so? North African kid
What is it I can do for
in
you?
9th century
You
England.
For me.
It's quite simple. For a fee, I can connect
By the
you
way,
to a
this is
shadow
Ubisoft's
market
time
that
store.
stretches from the dunes of Egypt to
Just
the
in case
walls of
you
England.
really thought
What
you
sort of
didn't
fee?
need the high
It
power
varies with
DLC
the
gear.
item, but there is a small hitch. Through this market, all prices are paid in opal.
A striking color. Is it rare?
Rarer than an honest man in England. You
I-
must
it's
keep
not
your eyes
that
open
rare.
for this mineral. It has great value.
You
Now
can
look here,
get
browse what
like
wares
100
I
a
have
week.
on offer.
So, we can get, once we have enough opals, we can get all sorts of new fancy gear, which is shared between all accounts. So, you can get a super hammer, or a cloak, or a Pegasus for no reason.
Nothing for now? No matter. My selection
But we don't
changes
have
daily.
enough opals
You
to
will
do
soon
everything.
Find something you like.
Yep.
Now that you are friends with me, you are also a
We
friend
also
of
get
the
contracts
Thousand Eyes
each
as
day
well.
and each week
And what
because
does this
timed
mean?
exclusives, daily login
Observe
bonuses.
my outfit,
Oh boy.
note the scarf I wear.
This is in
As
fact
you
where we get
travel,
our
you will
recycled
meet many of my associates
Odyssey and
who have
Origins
these
stuff.
same vestments.
Also some really
These are my
interesting stuff.
people, my other eyes.
I bet it can't fly
Seek
either.
them out for trade or contracts. Oblige them, and you will earn
We
the
do
high
occasionally see
deserve.
like some
And
really
I
weird fun
might
stuff
even
though,
feel inclined
like
to
the
reward you
Ariadvar
myself.
is one thing
Interesting
in the
offer.
store that might show up here,
Good to hear. Now,
which
if you'll
is
excuse
better
us,
known as the
my
Lewin
apprentice
in
has a
most of the
dentist
Irish
to join.
sources, but JRPGs freaking
Staying
love
for a while, I suppose.
calling the spear Ariadvar.
Yes, and you needn't
And
even
so we
thank
get
me.
an
We
Irish
would be
spear.
honored to call this our home. Good day.
Nope, you got contracts for me. I want a
You got a
contract.
contract for me.
My agents are not meant to undertake these tasks, but you are more perilous. A
Thank you,
trusted
thank you.
courier has gone missing. With yours,
Okay.
I'll see you later.
goodbye for now.
For some reason though, we can't actually upgrade Redda's shop. He just, no matter how cold it gets, no matter what he does, he just sits in this tent, as perfectly content. So yeah, we have a whole bunch of quests to do. But first off, we should probably finish our main one, cause you know we've got some of those, and then yeah, probably should go up here. And yes, I do, however, yes, need to do double shield because double shield. We need to upgrade some of those too, so that we can do stuff. And tattoos. Was that the Munin one?
Tove and I have some new designs.
What have you got for me today?
Which one was that? Did I not buy it? I may have not bought it. I'll need to go buy it.
All right, if you're...
I have to go.
See you later, Eivor.
Thank you, Sven. Okay, let's go buy the thing, and then we will eventually do quests, I promise. There is progress to be made.
I would like to see what...
Eivor,
Whoa,
you
where
should
is it?
definitely
It's this
sell
one.
This was made for
Also, let's sell all these.
Perfect.
That's a lot of
I'll
money.
happily take this.
We'll buy like one of
giving it
these, I
away.
guess. We get a lot anyway, but that's fine. And some of this stuff, because I know we're gonna need it.
This was a smart purchase.
I know we're gonna need a lot of this, because...
Is-
Well,
I'm off.
y'all keep changing my
I hope
weapons?
to see you soon.
And if I'm gonna keep changing my weapons, then I'm gonna keep needing new
What have you brought for me
materials
today,
to upgrade
Eivor?
them. Yes, we will need magic alphabet letters in our weapons very soon. Anyway, first things first, let's finish up the Ledicester Shira
glad
arc.
to see you made it, Shelbert.
Thanks to Sigurd, he was a good guide and even better company. He told me some incredible
Man, they
stories.
put so much effort
Best
into
ones
hyping
were
up
about
Sigurd.
you.
Hopefully nothing too embarrassing.
There were a few gems.
Not to interrupt, Eivor, but what of Leicestershire?
The Alliance is one. The sons of Ragnar are friends to our clan.
If you say so.
Glad to hear
I'm
it.
not sure we really
Well
want
done
them,
to you
but,
both.
you know. We'll take it, I guess.
Eivor, a word of note. Someone has set up shop outside. A
Yeah, I
trader,
already talked to
believe.
them.
I met him, Reda. A strange young man, but somehow charming. He'll make for fine company, I think.
I look forward to knowing him better.
Awesome. Thank you for that. It's totally useful information. I'm glad they acknowledged that we already met. That we already went and found him. Instead of just kind of forcing you to listen to the introduction. Without reason. Hello loading screen? Hello loading screen? Oh no. We seem to have been cursed with the loading screen. So we're just gonna be patient for a bit and see what happens. There we go. Hey, we got to level 3. Others in Holger and the Fowl Farm. Interesting. Okay, so we don't
You've
even
not
have
been
to...
long in England, have you?
An arrival. I wonder if Valka's among them.
Yes, Valka is among them.
Little lord.
Wessex untouched? Northumbria barren?
Yeah, I know. We're gonna deal with them later.
A new letter.
We have 2 new letters though. One from Norvid and one from Sunniva. The gods favor us. In a cave near Northwich, I glimpsed a legend. Björn, the Berserker. A great white bear walks at his side while Mercian soldiers dog his steps.
Björn Bloodtooth. Berserkers make fierce fo-
We'll listen to Eivor talk later. And...
Björn Bloodtooth. Berserkers make fierce foes, but powerful allies. His strength would bolster our settlement. I should seek him out.
Meanwhile, a Saxon abbot named Wulfhilda has arrived in a small village on the western outskirts of East Anglia, spreading tales of a fearsome monster. While I've yet to see the beast, she claims it wanders the countryside slaughtering livestock. The abbess wishes to end the threat, but she lacks the skill to battle a true Draugr of the underworld. Here's a chance to gain glory for our
Whatever
clan.
this beast or monster, defeating it would only add to my reputation.
Yeah, you just stitch the map together. No big deal. Okay. Let's see. I need to run over here to the tattooing shop. And stop it. Speak.
Thought up a few new ones for you.
Yeah, you're not thinking up things for me.
What have you got for...
Where is it? I bought it. I bought the thing. I know I did. Hello? Where is this? I'm trying, Leander. I bought it. You all saw me
That
buy
all
it.
for now.
I must take my...
So long.
I am deeply confused. Anyway, we will take on the Yule event at the end, so we need to... First, we need to go to East Anglia.
I've been saving these.
Right? I did
see it.
actually buy it, right?
This would suit you, I think.
Yes, I did actually buy it.
Nothing else?
I have to go.
Spooky.
Always a pleasure, Eivor.
Huh. Well, that was weird. Anyway, we don't have enough supplies to do anything. Fine, we'll talk to Valka first. Hi, Valka.
Eivor,
I wonder if you'll still talk about how green it is.
oh dear, it feels like it's been so long.
Valka,
What,
my
a
friend,
bug in this
you're
game?
most welcome.
Nah.
Are you well?
Better than
Never
that.
seen one of
I
those.
am
Definitely
present.
don't have ships.
And your mother?
My mother has found her peace at last. She walks through a world seen only
By the way,
in
flaw
dreams.
critical character died off screen.
That is all any of us can hope for.
Indeed. Come.
Don't know why she's a plot critical character, but she is a
How
plot
was your
critical
passage?
character.
Exhilarating. The waves and the wind were with us from the start. We flew like seabirds. And how are you? In spite of your stoic look, there is a brightness in your eyes that warms me.
It may be a kind of hope. A settlement is growing. The people are happy, and I am looking forward to more.
And your visions?
They come and go. But leave all that aside. Let me help you with your things.
By the way, speaking of the plot, I am
We found a fine
ridiculously
spot for you at the
excited
foot of the
for
hill.
when we do the Asgard arc.
Every hour we travel,
Like,
I
there's
try
gonna
to
be a
conquer
non-stop
my
trip
lonesome
for
vision
the
of
entirety of the
space.
Asgard arc.
And how close were you?
I saw the trees and the water and the rolling
Ah,
hill,
yes.
but I could not foresee so much green.
So much
It
green.
is a magnificent and
Yep.
calming color. A balm
I,
for sea-salted eyes.
I see so much green here in this snow-covered world.
Godsapo, what brings you? Hope there is
So clear skies.
on the
Shan-
settlement or some such.
Snow, but the clear skies.
The
Ish.
only curse on this place is their great lout of a blacksmith. It is a rare feeling to travel across the sea and still find oneself at home. This place feels powerful, alive.
Do you foresee great things for us?
No need for foresight. I
Oh
feel
no,
it in
we
my
are
heart.
jittery. Why are we so jittery? A4 is vibrating, and I am concerned. Yes? Dang it, the quest bugged again. Randvi's supposed to show up here to take on a step. Dang it, fine. You're gonna have to stand here and wait for like an hour and a half, you know that now, right? You know that, right? Right, Valka? Since you bugged out, we're just going to abandon you and try you again later. By the way, adrenaline? Yeah. It's practice. We get adrenaline for stabbing dummies. So that's like 4 bugs in a minute. So on that bright and shiny note, let's get going. Which quest do we want to do first? We've got a contract here. We've got another contract there. We've got something out here and something out here. What do you think we just come rolling on past and do the 2 contracts and then pick up our Beowulf quest and then do our Berserker quest, finish off the day with the Yule event? The contracts are not fun, but I need the opals, so... The thing warped. How very spooky. Why did the thing warp? If I run all the way up here again... Oh god no, the Berserker one is better than the Beowulf one. If you want to cause maximum suffering, we gotta go with Beowulf first. Does this do the thing? No. Fine. I hope that maybe since it worked back, the quest trigger had reset. But no. No, it hadn't. Time to go with sailing. Also, quickly, since we're using these, we should upgrade some of them. Gunnar, seriously, you won't let me talk to you either? This game has so many bugs in it. I swear to God.
To the Swan Road.
Okay, so, quests. Those are contract, which that contract claims it's in Kent, which is way too strong for us, except it's not actually in Kent because for some reason the locations for these quests have no relation to where they'll actually spawn. Oh, and by the way, also, the snow should just, like, stop right about here.
Let the sail out! Sail down!
Nope, not the button I wanted.
Did I ever tell you all the story of how I killed an entire clan single-handedly?
Sure.
Broken hilt of
Sure
a
you
sword?
did, dog.
Too often, dog. More times than any man can count.
Alright, another story.
Sail!
What? I am hitting the right button. Why are you doing that to me?
Sail out!
Fine, we'll just listen to music since you guys seem to think the idea of using... that the idea of telling a story means you can't have the sail up. We will just... Oh yeah, the snow is totally localized. They did not change the entire weather pattern of Mercia. They just did it in the one spot. Anyway, so we're sailing past Dulapontis right now, which is the Roman name for the city of Cambridge. Which is also what we're going to be dealing with next week, so we'll worry about it then. Maybe we'll get a fast travel site here. No?
Save it for what are you doing?
Hey, I am your captain. You do not question me. It truly is, and while I like the Yule sentiment, the Yule aesthetic, kind of as on an individual level, I can't say
You see.
it is very sensible en masse. Hey look, and by the way, we found the town of Grantbridge. Which, you know, since we discovered it, let's talk about one weird thing I'll spoil you on next week's, since we're doing useless side quests right now.
I should be cautious around here.
For some strange and bizarre reason, they are using the modern spelling of bridge instead of the old one of brig. And then, simultaneously, they are doing that while also using the 11th century name of the river. It's the River Granta instead of the River Cam. So they're just kind of mix and matching things. So like the 11th century name for it is Granta Brig. And they don't actually seem to notice or care. Anyway, for some reason he's in the dead center of Cambridge, it seems. So, I guess we'll just run through. Oh, crap. be that way. There's like 5 of them. Fine. You have no idea where I am. How do you know where I am? You should not know where I am. Fine. Gosh. Rude. There's an archer there. Damn it. Ai, velho. I would like to no longer be here. Thank you. Oh yes, we have to slide first. And then they'll lose sight of us. Maybe. Dang it. Way over there. Fine, let's just vault over this and then we can... What? Why is the Raven unavailable? Sheesh. So this is an assault from the, like, early in the... like, halfway through the Cambridge questline that we're just doing solo early. And we're still in combat, so... can't freaking use my Raven. There we go.
Cast about this land, my friend.
Where are you? You're just, like... in the center of town. Ah, there you are. Good thing this game is not very hard, even though I'm not exactly playing on a high difficulty setting. Yeah. Oh yeah, all the civilians got taken out of here because for some reason the town of Cambridge is like totally dead without Viking presence. Oh come on, I don't have to kill you too. So much effort. Well, hopefully this will make next week's job a little bit easier. Hopefully. Maybe. I don't know. Fine.
Regret the choices that led you here in the afterlife.
Okay, well, that was fun. Bye. I don't want to be here anymore. No. You can't make me. I refuse. Get out of my way. I just want to jump off. Ow. Hey, I rolled. Didn't think I had breakfall yet. Oh well. Quest 1. Done. Nope, not there. Quest 2. Way up that way, 900 meters. You know... randomly shouting "God won't let us lose" is probably not optimal, just in general. That's kind of just asking for punishment, but as kind of riling up people at the start of a battle, saying, "Oh yes, God will protect us, God is on our side," etc., is fine. So it's not like that. Sounds like it's one where they're adapting a tested language from pre-battles into random battle lines, rather than they are specifically saying something that is allowed or not allowed. Yeah, the early English just do battle. That's like their only thing. Everyone else needs Vikings in order to like learn how to do trade. Did you know? That's what we mean when we say Vikings are great traders. That they're just like the only ones. They're the only people who knows how to do trade. And anyone who tries to do trade without the Vikings being there first just fails. They just don't know how to do it right. Unless you're Edda. If you're North African, it doesn't count. The horse doesn't like being in water for some reason.
Show me.
Like, it literally is. You know, there's actually gear here. This is doubly convenient. We can see what new atrocity they gave us on the. You didn't hear that. Seriously, my guy? What are your ear holes? They just can't hear. Totally forgot what the concept is. Okay, he had ears, but he also had terrible reflexes, so same difference. Okay, now how do I get into this thing? I do not remember. Oh, come on. First things first, let's get you out of here. Ah, damn it. Stop doing something dumb, okay?
I'm not. Do something useful.
No. Do something useful, you said. He's actually owning me. Never mind. He thought he might own me for a moment. So if we just get you a certain distance away, preferably not through there. Come on. Far enough. Must be anonymous. Fine. There we go. Oh yeah, so we'll talk about them in a moment. We're going to talk about Berserkers a whole lot once we start the Way of the Berserker quest. But we're not going to quite do that yet, just on the grounds that otherwise I'll have nothing else to talk about. And that would be embarrassing. We got pants. Anyway. That leaves us already pretty close to this one, so... Oh, stop it, you. Hey, I actually hit the one. Wow. Truly. I mean, I know shields are supposed to be really like the best armor in the period, but like this is some next level stuff. Fine. Do it that way. And food. Okay, now we need to cross the river and then we'll be in East Anglia and can finally like do stuff. So the answer, this is one of the kind of big questions. Would you find someone from Africa, even North Africa as in Vader's case, just randomly in England in the Viking Age? Potentially, yes. We don't, as far as I know, we don't have anyone actually attested as that anyone saying like, yes, that is definite cases where we can say, yes, that person is definitely beyond a doubt from North Africa. However, North African texts, actually scratch that. That's just wrong. I can't say that because Al-Ghazali exists. Al-Ghazali is a he's Iberian, but from Umayyad, the Umayyad Caliphate, and he traveled on a diplomatic mission to Ireland and to the town of Helabu. So, in the 800s. So, yeah, he traveled there, he conversed with the probably King of Dublin, and his wife mostly, potentially had an affair with her, and then also traveled to modern Germany, but Schleswig-Holstein. So very, very right in that borderland to all the trade towns. It's entirely plausible that he also traveled into England in that time. And while he's Muslim Iberian, but as far as we can guess, with ties to Morocco or Tunisia. So, and it's entirely feasible and not that difficult to travel from Egypt to the Maghreb or into Iberia in the 9th century. So it's all entirely plausible. Was it common? No. But did it happen? Yes. And were ships traveling between the two places where someone could make that journey? Easily, yes.
Look! There's a filthy Dane now! Why don't we ask?
Anyway, who's ready for some Beowulf? And by Beowulf, I mean something that vaguely has some characters that look like they have the same name as Beowulf.
I did not touch your herd.
Fools are making this worse.
Come on, punch me. Not even hard. We just beat the crap out of them, and that,
These Saxons fight like mad dogs to protect their own. I cannot blame them.
Thank you for staying your hand, stranger.
If we punch them really hard, everyone else just forgives us.
Clan in Mercia.
Wolfhilda, Abbess of Barking, and Inquirer into Mysteries.
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
With
for the
your
same reason I
garb,
wonder.
you're not an abbess.
To look upon devil's work. But why would a Dane from upriver care what happens to Saxon farmers?
Look at that, she's wearing like a
There's rabid
chainmail
wolf or bear on the
thingy.
prowl. I would see it dead. Blame often falls
And
on
then
folks
she's
of such
wearing an
courage.
animal pelt for
Well
some
and
reason,
good,
and like
Eivor of
7
the
belts.
Raven clan.
7 whole
Take a look at
belts.
the maulings and tell me what
Short
manner
sleeve
of rabid
tunic
beast
with
did
a
these
quilted
things?
gambeson underneath it. And then trousers.
I could
She's not an
start with
abbess.
the dead
She's
cows.
not an anybody. Battle nun. One quality battle nun later. Also, yeah. So, Beowulf. The poem is found in exactly one manuscript.
The corpse is covered in a strange mold, though the wounds are fresh.
It is found in Claudian Vitellius A15, which dates to the early 11th century. and has in it some other texts such as the Life of Saint Christopher, the Apocrypha of Judith, and then most famously, of course, Beowulf, the poem. It is our longest piece of Old English poetry, clocking in at a little bit over 3,000 lines.
You there. What befell this poor beast?
Danes befell it.
How can you be sure?
It was Hrothgar's war band.
Sure.
They're holed up in that old church, working their misery upon us.
Also, yeah,
Warriors
the
do not often
Hrothgar
go about
exists.
slaying milk cows.
Anyway, plot summary of
Besides,
Beowulf, at least of
I've
the
heard
relevant
talk of a
section of
beast on
Beowulf.
the loose.
So, after some genealogical stuff leading up to Hrothgar's existence,
Still wet as stew. Where does it lead?
goes from a legendary shield chafing, or skilder,
By the gods, what manner of beasts?
who is attested from a now lost Norse saga, Skildinga saga. And, his son is Beo, who has another son who then has several kids, and Hrothgar is one of that. Yes. Oh yeah, Math, that is a really good comment. Not only is it historically plausible, Reda being in the game just kind of, and not being perceived as weird, makes the game unfriendly to white supremacist myths about early England, and that is unilaterally a good thing. And we should never criticize the game too harshly for making their game or criticize the game too harshly for being unfriendly to Nazis.
You are brave ones for getting so close to this awful sight.
Anyway, so Hrothgar builds this massive hall named Heorot,
What did you see?
which eventually gets burned down.
Bear.
The historical site that's most likely it is in Denmark. It's Gamaleya. Though supposedly Hrothgar is also the founder of the city of Roskilde. And actually, the Danish name Rå is the cognate to Hrothgar, which is Old Norse Hrolver. No, Hrothur, sorry. Hrothur becomes Danish Rå, and Old English Hrothgar.
This may be the work of a band of drunken Danes, or something far worse.
So, meanwhile,
Discuss these clues with Wulfhilda.
Hrothgar builds the Hall of Heorot, and everything's great, and everyone loves him. Except for one guy. The one guy is a descendant of Cain, and is a swamp monster named Grendel. Grendel decides, nah, I don't like this, and instead of talking it out like a sensible human being, decides to lean into the swamp monster aesthetic and just start doing murders. And eating the murder victims.
The bite marks, the mold.
And so it just
So you admit this is the devil's work? Or one of your wooden dragons
goes on
come to
for
life?
12 years of this just being the deal, where Heorot, you can party during the day, but everyone needs to leave at night because Grendel's gonna om-nom your face.
Grendel.
No mortal hand could rend flesh in such a way. Surely you see that.
And
Seen the worst
then
the hands of men can do.
a whole bunch of heroes try and get mauled by Grendel and die, and except for Beowulf. Beowulf is a Yetish, so from modern Skåne.
3 times these attacks have happened.
And,
Each time, bite marks, broken bones,
he
and
goes,
streaks of mold.
travels to Denmark with his companions and says, you know, I am going to fight Grendel. And after some bragging, he decides, you know, I know what is the best possible idea, and it is that I am no coward. And Grendel doesn't fight with a weapon or a sword. So...
Should be up there in the trees ahead.
Oh, you're following us. We're not following you. Okay.
Death and evil.
I know that scent well. Carrion and death.
Uh-huh.
Low-key sweet.
So, because he ain't a coward, and Grendel doesn't use weapons or armor, Beowulf won't either. This ends up being just big brain instead of boneheaded, because Grendel is immune to all sword strikes, and so they enter a wrestling match, tear up Heorot extremely badly.
Save me!
The Maulings have drawn in a starving war.
Fine. Punch, punch, punch. Shield punches. And so... Aw, poor dog. Clergy in England did too. A nun probably didn't, but clergy in general totally did. Anyway, back to the Beowulf. So, Beowulf rips Grendel's arm off, rather forcibly.
Did the wolves get a bite of you?
And then they say,
I'm unhurt.
all celebrate, and then Grendel's mom shows up. And all the celebrations kind of come to a screeching halt, because Hrothgar's most trusted advisor gets omnomed quite violently.
Why are you out here with the dead
And
cattle
Beowulf then goes, no, my job's not done, I'm going to do this, and jumps into the swamp where Grendel's mother is, and swims for an entire 12 hours straight down. Apparently he can hold his breath better than any man alive. This was foreshadowed earlier in his bragging contests, so we should not be surprised by this. And then engages in a great duel with Grendel's mother. He does use a sword and armor this time, which is smart because he nearly loses, but his sword doesn't work.
I know the men she means. They're staying at the church near Brisleek Farm.
And so if he wasn't wearing his mail, which was supposedly made by Wayland the Smith, Volander,
and an uncommonly opened mind.
I should say the same of you. Most heathens would point to witchcraft or monsters.
Sure.
You seek an earthly cause.
Yeah, I wish it was monsters.
Things, but the answers are
I really wish it was monsters this time. I would rather have monsters.
Yet in this case, the church has tasked me to explain the
Okay.
unexplainable.
Sure.
That, at times,
Stop talking so I can keep summarizing the thing.
Unholy ideas.
And your church accepts your unholy ideas.
They tolerate it.
Mm-hmm.
Lucifer is a deceiver, and God himself works in mysterious
Sure.
ways. So
I feel like you don't know 9th century theology very well.
Mundane and otherworldly.
Which is why you tolerate a heathen like me.
Perhaps.
Uh-huh.
Or perhaps
And
all of us,
that sounds
heathen and
suspiciously
Christian,
like Gnosticism,
stand within the folds
which
of
we're going to
broken
see how
mystery.
poorly that goes. Anyway. Gee, I wonder if it was the Danes who did this. So anyway, thanks to Beowulf's armor made by the smith Wayland, who is extremely old and attested from a whole bunch of places, he survives and kills Grendel's mother, and then Hrothgar gives him a ludicrous amount of gold, and he goes back to Yatland and eventually ascends to the throne there. 50 years fast forward, the dragon shows up. In just, the cup stealing scene from The Hobbit, that happens.
This is war work.
The dragon wakes up, is generally unhappy, and Beowulf goes and fights it using an iron shield, which is framed as this super unusual thing, which is odd given that every yeoman in AC Valhalla just uses an iron shield, right? Right. He eventually kills the dragon with the help of Wiglaf, his heir and nephew, but he dies in the process, and when he gets buried, everyone mourns him, because they know that Sweden is gonna gobble up Skåne and Jutland, and off we go. So that's the quick and dirty summary of Beowulf. Notably, in this quest, we are neither in Denmark, nor are we dealing with kings, nor do we have a Beowulf around here.
Someone crawled into the loft or dragged a body up there. The same marks as before. Bite
Yeah,
marks,
so
mauling. These are not
with the
weapon
twist
wounds.
that's about to be revealed here, because there's not a whole lot left in this, the twist that's about to be revealed, I do want to point out and have everyone remember, he bites everything. He's mauling and biting and consuming people.
You are Hrothgar, leader of this warband.
I am. A Finnmark raider and proud of it.
No, no, no. You're not. What do you mean you're not finished?
Bear ill news.
You do not.
Your warriors have fallen.
Fine.
Who or
He's
what did
finished.
this awful
We have not missed the Oghamstone yet.
Started this thing.
Watcher, we have not missed the Ogham yet.
Laughing. It broke my axe and gouged me. I
No, remember, Hrothgar survives
What was it? Did you
Beowulf.
see?
Well, survives Grendel.
A nightgoer from the world's rim. It spoke.
Sure.
Named itself Grendel. Said it would return.
So,
Good. We shall wait for it to come back. You and I.
Not I. My wounds are too great.
Oh,
my
boy.
spirit takes ship. Send them to here.
yep. We're gonna talk about that,
Right.
Math, so...
Winged women, friend. I will handle this Grendel, whatever manner of monster it may be.
Wait. Warrior. There were... two.
There were two. Oh no. Spooky.
We'll wait up here for it to show itself again.
Get your rest, warrior. I will
Oh
stand
no,
with you
something
in prayer.
spooky's going on. Okay, but like, I know... I hear you that there's things to be doing, but that door's locked. I need to find the key first. Since there's a whole carbon ingot out here, which I keep wanting to be copper because it makes so much more sense than carbon.
I need your eyes, my friend.
Hey look, there's the key. Yup, and no, this is absolutely a place where I value your work brain, because yeah, this is going to get real depressing, and not in a cathartic way. It's just going to get real depressing. Oh, it's a nickel ingot. Oh yeah, because we're in East Anglia. We're in the mid-game area. This doesn't make more sense, but it's at least different. For some reason, your steel is improved by smearing nickel over it. It makes more sense than carbon, but it's not. Still isn't good. Anyway, who's ready for the stupid twist to be revealed? The incredibly stupid twist. So remember, Grendel is a descendant of Cain,
Be still.
descendant of all, kind of the creator of all, descendant of the father of all monsters, brought to frustration by kind of originally human but no longer, with charms that will prevent him from ever being injured. Difficult fight. And everyone say hi to Grendel, who for 12 years mauls everyone intentionally and with great malice. This is how this game decides to portray Grendel.
I want to go home.
By all that is holy and bright, what manner of monster is that thing?
Not a monster.
People with disabilities in the 9th century are not treated
Grendel
well.
Is
In fact, often subject to infanticide. and otherwise very short, very ostracized lives, even if they made it
Where
through
did it
childhood.
come from?
And the kind of dehumanization that Wolfhilde is using by calling him a monster and
all of
using
us,
neuter
even the most
pronouns.
hideous, have souls. O Lord, forgive this man. his
And
sins,
yeah,
and grant unto him your grace and everlasting love.
the
Mold everywhere. Stay here, Wolfhilde.
it
Follow
is
this trail.
an interesting decision also that while
Eternal rest grant unto them, O Lord.
thank you
Let
game
your
engine.
light shine upon them. May all these
It is
souls
interesting
rest in
while
peace.
talking about Grendel, like trying to pray for Grendel's soul, it shows Grendel's victims because, yeah, for some reason, this person who would be ostracized and driven out of every home and probably would not even make it to adulthood also is a perpetrator of like 70 murders. We killed him in one hit because we're good. We are incredibly overpowered. But yeah, that is a thing what exists.
Trail leads.
This is not good. This is actually very, very bad. This does a disservice to people with disabilities. It does a disservice to the story. There is very little I find redeemable about this adaptation of Beowulf. I'm also frustrated that, you know, of all of the literature... Oh, and also, by the way, Beowulf still exists, like... Remember, this is the creation story of... This is the true story which will lead to the creation of Beowulf. Which already existed, and we found a note about it in Repton. So, good job on your writing team. Glad they totally coordinated what their DLC was going to be, Ubisoft. I would have much rather it be a monster, because, you know, one thing that this game does is it takes a super duper naturalistic approach. Sometimes. Like, except for its metaplot nonsense stuff, it tries to take an incredibly naturalistic approach. Oh, and by the way, Watcher, we're getting close to the Ogham Stone, and it's in this dungeon. So, yeah, they try and make everything that is not metaplot have a natural explanation. Even when it is far, far, far stupider to give it a natural explanation than to just let it be a monster. Because people in the 9th century thought monsters existed. That's not surprising. There is a genuine belief in monsters and monstrosity that honestly in some places persists to today. It's not at all a surprising event that will be chock full. What direction am I supposed to go here? We'll go this way first. What is this?
Speaks of her child, Grendel. A cruel fate the gods
Indeed.
have woven.
Yep. By the way, while acknowledging that he is suffering and that he would be socially ostracized, which the game does acknowledge, the one tiny bit of credit, needs to somehow emphasize that Grendel's mother is also just a person, and we're totally gonna do a murder. Who's ready for some murder?
Troll curse corruption lurks.
What? Uh-huh. Why is there a troll curse corruption here? Oh crap, those are snakes. Why does it have to be snakes? Uh-huh. Yeah.
My head swims with fever dreams. What just happened?
By the way, everyone enjoy this cursed object.
Is that you?
Everyone say goodbye to the cursed object.
The land breathes.
These cursed objects, I'm not even sure like what the point of them is. Like they're just like carved skulls with human sacrifice. By the way, also human sacrifice. All over the place in Christian burial practices. Otherwise,
I need a thing for a locked door. A key. Yes. I need a key. A key.
and clearly cursed area, also full of swamp gas that is making us hallucinate like hell. Human sacrifice happened here, along with animal sacrifices. A lot of human sacrifice happened here. Rather more human sacrifice than is actually okay, even in places that practice human sacrifice, with exceptions. Certainly for 9th century England, that is an unacceptable amount of human sacrifice. Even for 9th century Norway, that's a pretty unacceptable amount of human sacrifice. Also, yeah.
Just mold. Sending visions like a seal.
You smell like my son. My son's blood. Where is he?
Everyone say hi to Grendel's mother. We are now underwater, have been holding our breath for like 12 hours. And she teleports and is generally really bad news for us. So... What? Hello? Why did I not get to do better punches? She's also not hard. Oh, she's just strong. Okay.
Don't make me do this! On your hands, you monster!
Yes. Don't you like her design? Sort of distorted animal horns, one cow, one deer. Wearing fur. Can't actually see her. Is using two swords, or a sword and a dagger. Just to make sure. Super generally distorted, generally bad news. Seems to have some kind of skull face, and the swamp gas fades. Conveniently. And it's the old lady we saved from the wolves.
This. You, the woman from the farm. You lied about the Danes.
To protect my boy.
Yep,
He never meant to hurt anyone.
I figure the use of animal horns in this case is to indicate definitely bad, not pagan. Though the curse symbol does kind of
growing in body.
causing a problem with that, because the curse symbols are usually pagan. Occasionally they seem to be Norse, but more often they're supposed to be some kind of like pre-Christian English curse, which is nonsensical for the 9th century. Utterly frickin' nonsensical to ever be using in the 9th century. So, yeah, good quest, question mark?
Must know the truth of this.
We just murdered an old woman. Yeah, so it essentially claims that there is nothing... how to phrase it? That they are just hapless victims of happenstance and we are the arbiter of random, cruel fate. So this doesn't become a tale of heroism. In fact, it becomes a tale of... like... I don't even know. I don't... Yes, that's totally a safe way to store human skulls. Like, that's the thing that frustrates me most about this quest, is I just don't know what it's trying to say. Like, if... I think 8 thinks it is saying something profound. I just have absolutely no clue what this profound thing is or is intended to be. Like, is it trying to say something about disability and the way in which people who are disabled don't fit in? Oh, you can barely read it. And it won't keep me here. The white hilt of the sword of Riverheil. Alone I ride in inky black, the end of the shadow maze. In the hand of one born will, I blaze with boundless flame. You can't even read it. Sorry. I know, they don't have the Eotenish, Sword. Which is how he eventually defeats Grendel's mother, is that in her lair, for some reason, she keeps a sword made by giants. Eotens. I can try photo mode, yes. How do I do photo mode? I don't remember how to do photo mode. Yes, it is an Ogham stone. Does anyone remember how to do photo mode? I do not remember. There it is. Can I zoom in, please? Yeah, you can't actually read it in any meaningful way. Because I set the graphic settings to low so we would get frames. We had to save the frames, and would cause... But what we can do is we can try saving. Actually, it auto-saved a moment ago. So what we can do is we can quickly turn up the graphic settings to a lot. So we'll set them up here. It will probably make me restart. So we're going to have a restart. It should load us right back in, hopefully at the bottom. If not, we're going to... Yep, so it will reload in a moment with high graphic settings, and I'm sure we'll get a lot of lag, but we will read the Ogham, and then we will go back to low so that we can actually play the game without too much lag. But... yeah, Ogham is the runic script of Ireland, primarily in use in what, from the 4th to the 8th centuries, with some usage into later periods, but primarily in manuscripts. Certainly in stone, we're looking at long before the Viking Age as our main thing. It is a beautiful script with kind of carved, a central stem with then carved lines coming off of it for the various letters. But it is pretty restricted in its usage to a place, and certainly is not a catch-all script that you can apply to the quote-unquote Celtic insular world in its entirety, like this game quite happily does. Let's see where it loads us in. Hopefully it loads us in right, just right there. And then we can see how much lag we get. Because if we're actually not getting too much lag, then I'm happy to leave it on nicer graphics. Hey, we can actually read now. It is super duper inefficient for space. I mean, as you can see here, I would agree, that is not a lot of words. I don't know how they distinguish word breaks, or if they distinguish word breaks in Ogham, that I can barely do Norse runes, much less Irish runes. But luckily we have a watcher in chat there, Emmett222, who actually knows this stuff, so I'm going to just give him a moment to take a look at this and see what the heck's going on. Also, we have more there. And more there. And more in the back. Hey, it's just covered. And it's not the same on the back. The stuff on the back is actually different. And that's carved on top of a Roman thing. Hang on. Like, you can't see on down the front here because they turned the thing around, but the backside of this stone is Roman. It's a shame we can't actually read enough of this, but it looks like it's reasonable. Looks like at least the Latin here is more or less reasonable, though they seem to have some odd letters like this double N, or this ligature ME. But no, like, I'm actually not offended by the idea that they'd carve Ogham on top of a Roman stela. Like, I'm not offended by that because stone would get reused. That's not an inherently implausible or peculiar thing. But I didn't even notice that they are doing things in the back. Yeah, of all the weird things, the idea of putting a runic inscription being on top of carved onto a Roman inscription is not the weird one. Like, there's enough to make fun of about how they show Rome in this game. We don't have to do that one. We have like all of London to just talk about Rome. Admittedly, that one's actually also done better-ish, kind of. We'll talk about Rome when Rome actually does stupid stuff in this game, of which there'll be plenty of times. Anyway, how is this doing on lag? I want to see. As we kind of keep going here. Because if it's staying looking nice, then obviously I want to keep it looking nice for you guys. But I don't trust my internet, so I was setting it on low to hopefully make it less bad. Oh, huh. Yeah, that is weird. So, reading the comment out loud, the central beam on the front is very weird. You read Ogham from bottom up, so it's starting just halfway up, which is just off. The central stem of the Ogham should be the corner of the rock. We don't actually carve a central spine. Interesting. Also, we seem to be notably missing the... That is a path out, which we don't want to go out. We don't want to go out at all. We want to instead figure out where the heck this sword hilt is, because why would I not want a Welsh sword hilt from... I must have missed something, because, an entire path to go, because we should not be... Oh, by the way, our bandits are a wolf skull from the front for no discernible reason. Okay, we're gonna go in search of the white hilt of the sword, and then we can talk about the Mabinogi, because our quote-unquote Celtic design means that we are dealing with a Welsh weapon. Because it is part of the Legends of Britannia, which is a series of, like, side quests or stuff. Don't think I can just climb around this. Maybe I can. That'd be hilarious. Making our parkour so difficult by letting us free climb anywhere. No, that just leads back to where I came from. Well, that's weird. Oh yeah, need the viper eggs. Oh, or just leather. Okay, Why do I not remember where I'm supposed to go for this sword hilt? Or did I already get it? Is that what I did? Did I already get the... It's entirely possible I already grabbed it, but I didn't think I had. No, I don't have it yet. I thought I checked already and didn't see anything. So... I don't know. It's weird. I'm confused. I continue to be confused. We will need to just look around until I figure out how to stop being deeply confused and make it all work. And yeah, it actually looks like I'm not getting any more lag from being on high graphics settings than I am from low. Which means we can just kind of keep rolling like this. So yeah, I thought it was here, but let me through. Let me through. Did I miss it again? No. Yes. Because that leads out into daylight, and I don't want that, so. Oh no, I continue to just be bad. Where are shinies? There it is. I went and stood on it like 4 times, and it's just. Ah, I need to use violence first. That's my problem. I need to use more violence. Well, let's take a look at that thing. Collectibles. Mysterious hilt tablet. An ancient artifact made from a mysterious material. It represents a white hilt, the sword of Riverheil. It may be of use one day. So yeah, this is a weapon and a person found in the Mabinogi from 12th century Wales. A collection of legendary material from that. Done up in a nice, happy Christian context, as always, because all of our myths, all of our mythography in Northern Europe is post-Christianization, and anyone who tells you differently is trying to sell you something. Actually, let's go into the world here. That one. Nope, I need to finish off this one first. Let's try that again. Horse. And so yeah, in the context of this game, these treasures are finding little snippets, tablets representing different things. We complete the Mabinogi, and we get the obvious choice of what thing are we going to get. Everyone should know what object we are going to find as the most legendary British treasure at the end of collecting all the tablets, representing all the other far more interesting treasures. Ow, shit. I didn't think the wolf would follow me into the church. Jerk. Oh, he's triads? Okay. He still is very Welsh, and being in East Anglia is a decision and a half.
Pray, tell all.
I slew a monster that was
It is, in fact, the weird Semitic Excalibur.
His mother and killed her too.
His mother?
She struck at me in the dark, and I defended myself. But it was no hero's deed.
Those poor souls. I shall pray for them tonight at Barking Abbey.
Thanks, Walhilda.
Already.
I must. The bishop is eager for a full accounting of the beast of East Anglia.
Leave my name out of your tale. It is nothing.
Thank you, Watcher.
Understood. It would work
amazing. So we have quality,
high
high quality gibberish Ogum. Who's not surprised?
Story shall I write? The full truth of
I am not surprised at all that we have gibberish. Anyway,
monsters for the truth.
Yeah. So Eivor just says, "Oh yeah, we're totally just gonna roll with this and."
Cruel north wind on the neck.
God saves us all, Eivor. I take my leave now, but will write to you once my poem is complete. Farewell.
Thank you, and farewell to you
and
too,
this is the story of how Beowulf is composed. Totally fair. No, this is utter nonsense. The actual poem, Beowulf, as I mentioned, is from an early 11th century manuscript. However, and this is a fairly big however, the poem linguistically may date to as old as the middle of the 8th century, so over 100 years before the events of this game. there is a perpetual, like literally eternal argument about how old Beowulf is in early English studies that changes pretty much every generation. Someone makes a new argument. So the philologists are currently arguing for the 8th century, though some was it Robert Folk, I believe, is the one who goes, well, realistically we don't know how much of the poem is 8th century, and we don't know what additions were made to get into the 11th century. So we're still, you can get published arguing for pretty much any date for Beowulf. One recent one that I actually quite like dates it to around this time period. Claims it is that there is at least political context for an iteration of the poem to show up, because Alfred the Great's mother is actually Yetish. And around that time is when Scyld starts and his descendants start showing up in early English chronologies. Northwich. A friendly city. No, I refuse. I accept my fate. Good, I can go up this way. We ran past the tattoo, and I can't not go grab the tattoo. Run! Run! Please run faster! Whee! Nailed it. Let's see, which thing did we get? We got the Harta scheme. I don't think that's one of the terrible ones, is it? Leander, you'll have to remind me if that's one of the terrible ones. We'll deal with a lot of this Northwich stuff someone else. I'm mostly interested in getting the fast travel points because that will save us a hell of a lot of time in a couple of weeks when we do East Anglia. Speaking of which, by the way, this is the best longhouse in the game. In terms of looking like an actual longhouse. Like, this is straight up the best one in the entire game that I've seen so far. Our Norse ones are trash compared to that longhouse. But God forbid, you know... Really, Eeyore? You know the Norse are just technologically better, right? And so they have like shingles and stuff. And don't use thatch roofs on everything. Oh wait. Oh wait. When they really wanted to make a difference, they used turf roofs. You know, I wish we got any of the exciting weapons, because I know Mjolnir, Gungnir, and Excalibur are in this game. I want all the fun ones though. Like, there's one heck of a quest we made about... You could just like rip off Hervarar Saga and have one about the Divine Tyr, or about Tyrfingr. Or the Darwin's Leif. But I mean, I really want one about Tyrfingr, because that sword is ridiculous. Or, if you wanted a meme quest, you could go for Grausila, a blade supposedly owned by Gisli Sorsson. a little bit later than this, but yeah, still one of those blades that is doomed to cause lots of grief to lots of people. And it gets it gets broken and reforged into a spear and used to stab someone, and then reforged back into a sword, and then supposedly owned by Sturla in the 13th century by Sturla Sigvatsson, the nephew of Snorri Sturluson, the writer of the Prose Edda, and also one of the most ambitious men in Iceland, who's killed at the Battle of Örlygsstaðir in 1235, I think. I think that's the date. The dating is about right for that. Oh, fun! I despise that lore, Blues. Thank you for sharing. Yo, there's going to be so much to talk about here. When we get to Asgard, y'all are in for a treat, because the way they do Tyr is the hottest of messes. Also, you'll get to get the sneak peek of it in 1 week earlier, because, let's see, next week is going to be Cambridge, Grantebridge. Then we're going to have East Anglia the week after that, and then the week after that should be Oxenford. We're going to do Oxenford before we do Asgard. Those of you who have played the game will know why we're doing that. It's important context to do, I think, to do those two back to back. And then we'll do London, and then we'll do Vinland.
Björn Bloodshow's cave should be close by.
So, yeah.
That must be Björn the Berserker. Stretch your wings, Sunan.
Where is he? I don't know where he is. I heard him. Anyway, so are there any last questions about Beowulf? I can happily run around here. I want to finish up talking about Beowulf first, and then I will talk about, and then we can talk about Berserkers, because there's a whole quest about Berserkers. A complete quest line about a berserker who lives in a cave. You know, I like Bjorn as a character. I don't super love this quest, but I need to look up a thing first, so sorry, I'm looking up a name for a person, because I don't remember the botanist, off the top of my head. Where is it? Well, there's one. Well, that is a very useful thing, but it was not the one I was looking for. We'll save that. They do not ever address the dragon in the questline. It just kind of shows up in the finished manuscript, which gets sent to us by our friendly neighborhood battle nun. Where is it? Where are you? No, no. That's not that. Thank you. What is it? Girl. That's Linnaeus, that's not who I'm looking for. No, it's not Singer. Who is it? It is Agaric, Swedish. Sorry, this is taking longer to find than I expected it to. But that gives us more time to wait for questions to come in. No, where is he? It's not actually Linnaeus. Stop it. Gar, fine. I'll pull up the PhD dissertation about Berserkers to get ready for this. I should have pulled this up earlier, but that's fine. Really? Seriously? Oh, I can't search this damn PDF. Ah, that is a problem. So this is taking longer because PhD theses are burly documents. But luckily, you know, while I'm talking, this is a... There it is, page 73. So, the PhD thesis in question is by Roderick Dale. Who is a very cool person. I actually met him a few years ago, and is extremely cool. So, highly recommend going and downloading it. You can basically just Google search Roderick Dale, Berserker, or PhD dissertation, and you'll probably find it. I think it's from York? No, University of Nottingham. So it's on their directory of PhD dissertations, and it is the most thorough study of the question, of the topic, in recent years. As PhD dissertation should be. So he goes over pretty much all the main explanations, and far more detail of anything you may want to know than what I am going to go into. I'm drawing mostly from him here. There was some other work. I've got a lot of thoughts on Berserkers. I've unfortunately had to talk about them quite a lot. There it is, Udman. Samuel Udman is the person in question here. Yes, that would be incredibly helpful, Watcher. Anyway, so we're going to meet with our Berserker, and well, chat went very far into Celtic nonsense because it is all very cool, and I'm sure I will need specialists on for all of the Irish DLCs, which should come out in March? I think it comes out in March.
A man who fights beside a great white bear. You are pure.
Anyway, first thing immediate, he is actually the most generic design.
They say we do not want shapeshifters in these lands.
He's actually our warmonger enemy type, with, you can see, double hammers. And this.
Another corpse at my door won't matter.
I am not here to fight you, Bjorn. I am Eivor of the Raven clan, and I offer you a seat in our hall.
He does have a pet bear. Look at the pet bear.
You prefer to live alone here with your bear?
Also, celery? He's carving a face into the turnip. Hang on, no, he's carving a face in. He's making a jack-o'-lantern.
Whose name shall not sour my lips. He has scores.
I don't know why, but he seems to be carving faces into the vegetables.
And let me help. If you truly wish to avenge your wife, you must not fall in battle.
I shall think it over. Njal, go with my bear. Feel her belly. And if Njal trusts you, who knows?
No. Look at how small she is. A small polar bear. By the way, also, Bjorn seems to be quite the connoisseur of bread. Now, I'm a fan of a person who likes bread, but like, that's a lot of bread, my guy.
You are tame for so wild a beast. Is that so? Tell me, what does a bear like you eat? Whatever you want, huh? Best you show me then.
So.
A mixing bowl for making Berserker brew. Smells of piss and nightshade.
Ew. Guess what we're gonna have to drink later? I'll have feelings when we drink that.
The skulls say Björn carried you into battle when you were but a bear cub.
Yeah.
Raised you as one would raise a child.
Yes. Thank you. Firstly, very small polar bear. Secondly, the name, Njal. By the way, they'll sometimes use reconstructed pronunciations. I always use modern Icelandics. If you hear discrepancies, that's why. So, Njal in the,
We had fields like these near him.
Yes, you did, and do. Mountain lupine, by the way.
I can see why Björn keeps you around.
Though, right there, used late old reconstructed Björn instead of Bjorn. Modern Icelandic Björn. Anyway, the bear. The bear has a male name. Njal is a man's name in Icelandic. Cognate is actually a borrowing from Irish. It's Neil.
Fishing arrows. Now to catch something.
So our female bear is named Neil. Just. I don't have a fishing line. Well, that's not great. I'm gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Hey, I need... I can't believe I don't have a fishing line. This is awkward. Do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah, I remember that. Luckily, we're just good. So, one fish.
Do you want some fish, Njal? Here.
There are no seals for Njal to eat, which is kind of a problem. Luckily, they do not make us do this too many times, unlike elsewhere, when they make us do this way too many times.
Than fresh fish. Eat your fill, friend.
Uh-huh. For some reason, though, the one we're fighting is a bullhead, which is...
The demon bear! And its master! That's not the Berserker! Who cares? Kill them both! Filthy bear and dirty deeds.
Uh-huh. Yep, skirmishers, hey, he's not wearing the stupid helmet. He's just wearing a mostly stupid helmet. And it's generally bad, but, I'm far more okay with that helmet than I am with the ones with the little strands on it. Luckily, they're still stupid and bad, so... Hey. Hey, stop it. Stop it. There we go. Come on, can the bear please? Oh my god. The bear is getting kited so good. Didn't even... The bear didn't even touch him.
Bjorn may be in trouble as well.
Oh dear. Well, I suppose we should get back. Neither would I. Neither would I. I feel like this game severely undersells how scary bears are. Like, they're very small. Like, remember, like, the Roman ruins in this game are stupidly huge. Bears are stupidly small. Like, a full-grown polar bear would stand probably about the same height as Eivor. Come on. Please stop moving, please. Because, like, my son's about, like, what, 3 feet high at the shoulder? A full-grown polar bear is looking at going, like, significantly more than that. Up to 5 feet high at the shoulder. Well then, not even hard. They're sending, like, reasonably tough guys at us, I guess. They're sending, like, skirmishers. Who aren't good, but they are brave. And still dead. There's one more, come on. Can these guys deal with it? Oh no, that guy's actually hard. Oh no, that's, like, actually gonna take effort.
Die already! Why won't you go down?
What? Oh no, that's awkward. Ow. Well, now I'm up on the cliff, so that's fun. Thanks for throwing me up where you can't reach. Yeah, the pro tip here is just don't fight a bear. Eivor is not our good idea to do anything with, so don't fight bears. Because yeah, for some reason they make bears tiny. They make bobcats huge in this game. They make wolves tiny. They make bears tiny. And I don't know why. I just don't.
You have a strong war arm, Ravenshirt.
These men did not come for the fame of defeating a legendary berserker.
Okay,
No.
see ya, math.
They were followers of the Mercian Lord, my blood enemy, my wife's killer.
So anyway, I suppose our question we should probably ask at this point is, what the hell is a
Fame has
berserker?
two faces, Eivor of the Ravens. In
Berserker
Norway, a young thane wanted the glory of
literally most likely means bear shirt.
They died.
There's really not any accepted etymologies
Alfhilda
left.
and I, we came here for a new start.
Work-alongs are probably genuinely Viking Age, as some kind of warrior elite alongside Ulfhevnar or Wolfhides.
You have the right.
It's not clear whether they actually wore bear hides and wolf hides into battle. Like, that is not attested in the archaeological record because, yeah, there's not. It just isn't. That material doesn't survive well. So, by the time these sagas are being written down, in the 13th century, Berserkers have changed somewhat. Pretty much our entire structure we think of rampaging, ferocious people who get so riled up and can't feel pain and will fight until they drop dead is a complete fabrication. It's a literary construct. That's not what that's not how combat works in the Viking Age. It doesn't make sense. Our clearest attestation of that idea, though, is from Snorri Sturluson, our good frenemy, in his Ynglinga saga, where he claims that they are the bodyguards of Odin and don't wear armor at all and go into a furious rage and do stuff.
Nightshade grows in graveyards. No shortage of those in Christian England.
Yeah, Eivor, you do understand that pagan Norway apparently also has graveyards based off Stavanger. So stop it. None of that. no saying that this is a uniquely Christian thing, because this game doesn't commit to the bit of actually making Norway meaningfully different. But yeah, Snorri is our main source of that. No, to nobody's surprise and everyone's chagrin. However, I suppose we can go this way. That's actually kind of useful. I realized we had like 11 things for... which is a lot of power that we're just kind of not using. I don't like that skill. It doesn't make sense to me. There we go. Lots of power, lots of new strength. No, Raptoris, that's not what she's saying. It is saying that there is currently a lot of violence and death, and also that there are a lot of churches with graveyards. I am more being amused at the fact that the Hof in Stavanger, which is just a Stavkirke, has a graveyard with a bunch of teeny tiny ship burials in it. And so the game refuses to actually make a meaningful difference between a pagan or a pre-Christian temple space and a church. Just kind of quietly makes them the same, just with a different skin. Anyway, we're going up there for the church to do stuff, because this is the intended church to go to. Anywho. Where was I? Berserkers as a literary invention. Berserkers also show up all over the damn place in the sagas beyond Snorri. While his Ynglinga saga is one of the clear-cut sources for it, they also show up all over the place. So in Njal saga, since we've got our bear named Njal, there is a berserker in the tale of the Christianization of Iceland who is terrorizing this kind of brutish figure who's terrorizing the local Gauthi or chieftain.
Nightshade has a distinct stench. Like this. Must be near.
And kind of demanding that the chieftain marry his daughter off. That's not... Is that Nightshade? I feel like Nightshade doesn't have bright yellow flowers. I would be very amused if they got that wrong, but let's find out. Yeah, that's what I thought. Nightshade has purple flowers. Nightshade has small purple flowers and grows in more of a bush. And little dark berries. That's not Nightshade.
That's enough.
Neither of those two plants are Nightshade.
Smelling herb. I should meet Bjorn.
No, wait, there's a shiny there. Hello, shiny. We're going to find you.
Sunan, guide me.
There's a key up there. Okay. And a world event inside. Oh, let's do the world event. This world event is stupid. This world event is extremely stupid.
Forgive not these men their trespasses. Send them instead to the same hell they brought upon our land.
Yeah, they would have been significantly different. We'll talk more about the temple space and kind of ritual context.
Send them to hell with the others.
In a moment with the Yule event, because that is one of our big calendar.
Place, heathen. Leave before you draw the wrath of our father.
No. I won't. You can't make me.
You killed these men.
These defilers killed themselves.
Yep, the battle nuns continue. This game sure loves.
Told me the full tale. Then he told me to chastise them, and he has told me much about you too.
Stand down, Saxon. I mean you no harm.
I want you to leave. Now go.
The game is still currently running on high graphics, so. Oh, she dodged. Rude.
Die now.
May God strike you down.
Also, yeah, we just didn't kill her.
Tell me again. What did your gods say about me?
My god names you the Crow-Eyed Devil.
No, that's fair. That's
To find you.
That's a foreshadowing right there.
And then they will fling you into the pits of hell, demon.
That is a foreshadowing. So, anyway, take these gifts, my blood offering, as a sign of devotion. Huh. Saint Alf. You know, you don't usually get sanctified while you're alive. Like, it happens sometimes, but... I am now kind of curious if this is a real saint. I do not know, off the top of my head, if this is a real saint. But we can find out. Meanwhile, quality foreshadowing, calling us the Crow-Eyed One. Though, perhaps Raven-Eyed One would be significantly, more accurate. But if we're speaking in Latin, they don't actually distinguish. They use Corvus for both. Let's see if this is it is a person. Potentially. Nope, that is not the saint, though. Yeah. Okay. Yep, there is a historical Elfwin of some prominence, but she's the daughter of Athelflath of Mercia, who is a generation later. Please climb. So, nope, it is not an actual saint. It is just claimed it, which is heresy, by the way. You're not allowed to do that. So, deserves her death. Totally justifies it. Yep. No problem. Yeah, crows and ravens are not the same. Ravens are much bigger and much smarter. And much more solitary, generally. Convenient pile of leaves, off we go. Oh, dang it. Why did I didn't even get the key from up there. All that climbing around, I didn't even get the key that is up there. Oh, actually, it's up here. Well, that would be why I didn't get it. Bang. Collect the key, and... Thank you. Once again, I question the state of literacy in this world, in that there is an awful lot of it, all around, in all of the languages. But that's okay. One treasure card. And... some other just stuff. Thank you. Okay, off we go. 500 meters that way. So. More about Berserkers, now that we had that pleasant diversion into false sainthood. Berserkers are, as I said, are often in saga literature portrayed as this kind of brutish, antagonistic figure for our hero of the moment to overcome. In Yule Saga, the solution to the problem is our Christian Fangbrounder says, you know, let's build 2 fires in the hall, one of which dedicated to Thor, one of which is dedicated to God. And then, if God proves his strength by saving us from this berserker, you all must convert to Christianity. The berserker leaps straight through the fire dedicated to Thor, but stomps at the fire dedicated before God and gets his sword stuck in the ceiling. At which point, everyone in the hall gangs up on him and beats him to death. And then converts to Christianity on the spot, after having done the murder. In other contexts, though, they appear as champions, and that's in fact what Roderick Dale argues the term should probably be translated as, such as in the saga of Hrolfr Kraki, in which Böðvar Bjarki, who can actually truly shapeshift into a bear, kind of, his Fylgja is a bear, and he is able to project his spirit into a physical form. And he defeats 12 Berserkers in the court of Hrolfr Kraki to gain a seat at the table. Hrolfr Kraki is basically the King Arthur cognate, in that his saga is the collection of all of the greatest heroes locally. But Berserkers, I think, are truly defined by their liminal space. In that they do not sit comfortably into society. They're not, don't truly have a place, and so have a lot of room to be reinterpreted. However, they are not, and do not, kind of consume stuff. This is, as I said, created by a Swedish botanist. First argues that it is fly Igrik that is what is causing the Berserkskong, which is a term for going berserk, is characterized by kind of a flushed face, biting your shield, and then a ferocity in battle. Recently, much more recently, let's see, what's the name there? Karsten Vater. An ethnobotanist, not a medieval historian, argued that it was henbane and not fly Igrik, which has been found in graves, probably for ritual contexts, but also is without a doubt not that. No way, no how. That is almost certainly not the cause of the Berserkskong. Don't do it.
How are you called, you bear?
Berserker Ulfhevnar.
Tasters of blood.
And this chanting, Roderick Dale argues that what this actually is a ritual performance. Instead of doing drugs, it is a intentional ritual performance to kind of get adrenaline into the blood.
What do you fight for, you bear skins?
Wolf, shouldst you drinkers of blood?
We fight for glory, we shield biters.
Wall breakers, born in battle's flood.
Oh, by the way, he also has an Ægishjálmr tattooed on his stomach. Oh crap, that's a bear. We are punching a bear. We are punching the bear. So yeah, Roderick Dale argues that it is actually something constructed. Ow. Oh look, the man named Bear is actually a bear. This bear is still small for certainly a European brown bear, but, you know, closer. We're closer. But polar bears are bigger than brown bears, not the exact same size. So, stop it. Anyway. So yeah, Roderick Dale says no drugs were involved in the making of these berserkers, and it is instead a kind of warrior context performatively done before a battle to help prepare for it, to just get adrenaline and testosterone into the bloodstream to improve ferocity in battle. But then is not, you don't take drugs, you don't do any of that crap, because that impairs your judgment, which is really bad for a battle context, especially if the fight happens to devolve. If the fight devolves and the formation breaks, you want to be lucid and able to make decisions, not
I've been close to death many times.
Just kind of wildly swinging, especially with a gigantic two-handed double-blade axe that makes you a threat to everyone around you, friend or foe. Turns out you wouldn't be able to identify who your friends are, and so the idea of them taking drugs as the way of inducing a Berserkskong is just dumb. And in fact,
"'Tis glorious, is it not?"
Berserker brew does not agree with my belly.
But you live still. Can you feel the power of the bear's blood
No.
coursing through your veins?
Yes.
No, no, I
But
can't.
you-
I'm mostly just
You
confused.
were a bear.
And the bear power courses through me still.
I'm ready. Where to?
The Mercians who slew my
Oh boy, we're gonna head off that way.
Dorchsworth. We shall kill them all.
Yeah, this is not a good idea.
Jarl will taste mercy and blood.
Show me what you can do, Berserker.
This is not a good idea. Will you... Are you going? Or are you just gonna stand there and yell a lot? Okay, thank you. Here we go! Doing a violence. Again. Yeah, you know, I wish there was something actually about Bolvarbiarki here, because that would be cool.
With me! I'll stage your welcome.
That would be way cooler, because, yeah, Bolvarbiarki is incredibly cool. But here we are, instead not doing that. So be it. More eating random mushroom. Oh. Ha! Let's go hooded here. We still seem to be perfectly lucid. Bjorn, not so much, but we still seem to be perfectly lucid and are in fact... doing that. What? Ow. Ha. Well then, a whole lot of guys without shields, they have not learned the lesson in which shields are good. Shields keep you from having swords on your face? Hang on. What? Where is Bjorn? Like, legit question, where is Bjorn? Oh, he's up there. Okay. He's just... Wow. I killed 7 guys in the time it took him to deal with what? The time it took... Yes, yes he is. He's over there, actually. Hey look, he's using an iron shield. Remember that thing I just said that... What? Why did that not work? You make me look bad. You're making me look bad, Yeoman. By the way, Yeoman is not a thing from this time period. In case anyone was wondering, Yeoman is from a lot later, like several hundred years later. I'll need to look up kind of the specific academically understood context of the term these days, but yeah. Oh, well, awkward.
That old white bear will make a fine trophy.
Who will fight me?
Wow, this guy is annoying. We're gonna, I guess, leave him. So much effort. But people who cannot, truly cannot aim.
With me, brother.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no. That's not good.
We watch each other's backs.
Well then, as you can see, this fight devolves quite rapidly into just kind of nonsense. Okay, I'm just down to these couple of yeomen. Is he gonna lose this fight? Like, can he lose this fight? Well, that was just efficient. Oh, also, he's using a flail. And, I don't like that, so, what? I don't know why that doesn't work nearly as well as I wanted to. Shields are good. Okay, well, we just killed a Huskar. Which literally means houseman, but more accurately means retainer. It's just a weapon class for him, for these guys, of apparently using very dumb weapons. But historically, in the 11th century, the Dane axe is kind of the relevant, like, main weapon of the Huskar. In fact, is one of the main, like, kind of the distinctive weapon for them among the relatively elite. No, you weren't here for the entire fight. What did you? Why weren't? What is going on, my bear? He does have a weird Roman helmet. We're not going to talk about the visual design because we're going to see it a lot more. But he's using scale mail. He's basically using like a Western Empire helmet with Eastern Empire armor, and none parts of, and also a flail. So 0 of 10 on the looking like a Huskar from any time period, much less the 11th century. But
your enemy has fallen.
Here we are.
You have your revenge.
Yeah, the symbol on his stomach is a Galdrastaver from the 19th century, or 18th century, sorry.
I will tend to her beneath the tree.
Found in the Islandsk Galdra book. I believe that one is the Ægishjálmur, which is designed, it is actually the Fear of Terror, or Helm of Terror is what I actually means. Oh, by the way, also, for no discernible reason, given that Njal didn't, like, join us for that battle, for some reason she was just randomly gonna die now. I don't know why. I am undecided as to whether I think that he kills her, or whether she actually is injured and just passes away. Kind of the task being done, he sets aside the Berserker way, and therefore sets aside the relevant bear. But yeah, the bear just kind of randomly kills over and dies, and I don't get this part. The whole thing of lupine here. Where are we at? Where are you actually going to make me go to pick it?
Have a look, Sunan.
You're actually going to make me go up to the grave, aren't you? Fine.
His wife's grave. No wonder he visits this tree often.
Notice a whole field of lupine. And the place where we pick up the flower is this little, like, yellow sundrop.
Flowers from Jarl. Now to meet Björn beneath the gallows tree.
None of this lupine counts, despite that being previously established as the favorite flower. The little purple, I mean, I'd say they're columbines, but we're not, they're violets, okay. The little violets don't count. No, we gotta get these little sundrops. For some reason. Yeah. Everything is peculiar. Also, once again, bury your dead people, even if you hanged them. You don't have to bury them in a churchyard, just bury them somewhere. And yes, the bear. Yeah, actually, he totally sacrificed her. I could see a bloodstain beneath it.
I brought her here, where it began.
But bears did fit on, well, probably not on a longship, but on a knar, a merchant ship. Because most of the polar bears you see in kind of royal courts in England and in Norway were imported from Greenland. There's a couple of sagas, my favorite being Kroka Ref saga, where a semi-domesticated polar bear is brought as a gift to the King of Norway.
Now both are gone.
So, they had to have been brought from Greenland somehow. And unlike getting to Iceland, you cannot plausibly say that they got from Greenland to Norway on an iceberg. However, they did get to Iceland by getting trapped on an ice floe.
Njol sleeps at the old father's
And so drift. Can get stuck and drift to Iceland and then starve to death. That happens in Grethe Saga, where there's in the West Fjords there's a bear terrorizing the local area, and Grethe proves his strength by killing it. And yeah, it's not pleasant if a bear gets into Iceland because there's no real food for it. The only option for meals, because you can get some seals, but the water is a little bit warm. And the only other option is sheep or cattle, domesticated. In other words, farmers' crops or livestock.
You asked if I would join your clan. I am ready.
Good. There'll be a place for you on my longship and in my clan.
Oh, by the way, what's his belt?
I shall sing of Alfhilda and Jarl during our travels. Sing of their deeds. And I will carry their names into battle.
When you're ready, follow the river Nene to my settlement. We shall welcome you as a brother.
I will be the Berserker of the Raven clan.
Interesting. Okay, by the way, his belt, I just realized. Alongside with the two brooches there, are a series of things of what are known as bracteates, which are these like golden circles with sometimes incredibly complex prints on them. These ones are stupidly simplistic, but the idea is there. Actually, let's zoom in on one of those. Nope. Yeah. So these are what are called bracteates. These actually predate the Viking Age. They're predominantly produced in the Migration Age into the Vendel period. So, yeah, it's rather... There we go. Rather odd for him to be wearing a whole belt made out of them. And by the way, there is no attestation of animals going to Valhalla, but there's very few attestations of anything going to Valhalla though, so, you know, we roll with it. We're going to be talking about that a whole lot in not very long. Oh yeah, the game does that for me too, just randomly like removes him from my crew on my other file, in which I've had him for a while. He just sometimes just goes poof and decides I don't want to be here anymore. And then he isn't. Yeah. So, spoilers of Valhalla is not straightforwardly obvious as being an actual believed in place for much of the Viking Age. The sources we have for it are all 10th century or later, and are all from Norway. Nope, don't actually want them out. That's not what I want. Fine. Since we're here, I'll put in more things. That featherfall? Yeah, that one's probably useful. Hey look, I just improved hammer for you guys. Aren't you happy? Call a longship. Hey, cool, actually our horn changed. Because for some reason, the horn that we used to drink the Berserker brew is also our horn for calling. Despite, you know, there being a small problem of needing to put a thing in the end of the horn in order to not cause big issues. Oh, by the way, you know that place that we just cleared out a lot of people from? let's go raid it quick. Because I need more raw materials for everything. Wow, there's freaking nobody here because we already killed them all. Whoops. Oh gosh. Hello, lag. Okay, we are getting some lag here. The lag is on my end, not the stream's end. So this is why I don't play on high settings, but we may be able to run it on medium going forward here, instead of on high. So, because the problem, I seem to have figured out our problem for in terms of stream quality, I seem to have figured out a way to make it stable enough that I'm okay with keeping the graphics higher. But, oh man, there's some lag here. Oh yeah, I could bust that down too, if I felt like it. Anyway. So, Valhalla, not Hook, H-L-L. Oh look, it's Roman. Anyway, yeah. It seems to, I would say, like, not all of my colleagues agree, but I say it's fairly indisputably, like, around by the 10th century. But whether or not it's around by the 9th century is a kind of a different question. Hey look. It's a bannerer. I don't know what bannerer is supposed to mean, but that's fine. No. Come on, let me do the thing. Jeez. For some reason, it has suddenly become very bad at letting me do that. That's fine. Oh yeah, he can just like super invulguard for no discernible reason. And then get stuck. Interesting maneuver. Are you okay, my guy?
Don't take the bait. Patience.
Interesting move.
He was not okay. Oh, by the way, this is the dumbest kill animation ever. This is like the only time armor ever does anything in this entire game is in this one kill animation. But yeah, let's take a look at what he's wearing quick, because this is basically the same thing. So, he's got... Hello, photo mode. Please come in handy again. Actually, he's got the sudden, once again, a crappy knockoff of a sudden Who helmet. So this is actually looking like, English, early period. I wouldn't say this is 9th century, but it might be, oh. Camera controls are hard. I don't know, I'd say this is like 7th century. Like, plausible for the 7th or early 8th century. And then having that kind of horsehair thing on the top of it is totally fine too. And then the scale hauberk is Eastern Roman Empire, question mark. So, potentially the right century, but also the wrong place. And then he's wearing a quilted gambazon underneath it, despite that not being tested in Europe before the 12th century. So, neat. Also, he's wearing one greave. He's wearing one whole greave. Yeah, you guys can open your own boxes. Like, seriously, he's standing right there waiting for... Can I unlock this? Yeah, I can. Nice. Come on, doors aren't that hard. Doors are hard, but doors aren't that hard.
We are done here! Come on!
Yep, we looted the whole place. Ta-da! Aren't we great at Vikinging? Also, once again, church building. Right? Clearly a church building. Anyone disputing this thing's church building status? Shields, axes, bigger axes, hauberks, helms. All of that's just kind of hanging out here. So they, once again, I'm struck by the fact that they wanted churches, I wanted you to raid churches, but couldn't actually commit to the bit of having you raid churches. And so instead have you raid military camps with a church skin applied. That's one of the dumb things. While it is definitely the case that, you know, you can you absolutely can find weapons in a church, and that church clergymen fought, even with swords, those will be stored in an outbuilding, not in the actual main chapel space. Like, there are outbuildings, churches own, like the church owns all this property, has a building there, has stuff there. Was totally, you just store it there, you don't store it in the sacred space itself. Otherwise, there's no difference between your sacred space and your profane space. And your secular space. So, it's dumb. Continues to be dumb. Hey, I actually have more arrows this time. They fixed that. Anyway, we've been going for 2.5 hours, which means it's time for us to take a very short break. I'm going to turn down the strength. I'll turn down the graphics down to medium. I don't think because I'm getting lag on my end, and my computer's starting to run somewhat harder. So, we're going to head back here after the break. So I'm going to change the graphics settings and restart the game. Well, there's an ad break running. And then we'll go back here. And we will do some of the Yule stuff. And talk about Yule and some of the kind of holiday sacrifices and important calendar aspects in pre-Christian Norse religion. So, be back in a moment. Ad break. And if you subscribe to the channel, if you've been enjoying this, make sure you follow, and if you want to, subscribe with Twitch Prime, that's free. Otherwise, it's $4 for the first month, $5 for every month after that. And it helps a whole lot in making a lot of things possible. Keeping this channel running, and all the money from it goes right back into the channel. So, if you want to support it, do consider subscribing. Otherwise, 60-second ad break. And yeah, also if you subscribe, you don't get ads, pre-roll, or ad breaks. So, that's fun. Anyway. Regardless, BRB. And we should be returning. Still loading. I wonder if Valka is actually gonna like do her thing this time, or if she's gonna freak out and once again the quest will be bugged, and then it will be very difficult to do anything resembling Asgard eventually, maybe, if we feel like it. So, anyway, where are we? You know, this helmet is really dumb. Like, there are helmets I like in this game, there are helmets I don't like in this game. This is one of the helmets I don't like in this game. Also, bye-bye Longship. We don't need you where we're going, because we have the power of fast travel. Look at how good we are. All of this shielding. Just... I wonder if we put on 2 heavy shields when we have 2 heavy shields, if this will end up being really dumb. Anyway, let's get rid of this, because this is very dumb. Thank goodness. Also, Gunnar, we have like lots of stuff. You can't talk. You can't talk because you seem to be stuck in a thing.
This way. We found a fine spot for you at the foot of the hill.
Every hour we traveled, I tried to conjure in my mind some vision.
You still think it's going to be green?
And how close were you?
I saw the trees.
Bright skies, by the way.
Hill.
Sun snow is an interesting phenomenon.
So much green.
But this is kind of next level.
Calming color. A balm for sea-salted eyes.
Volka! Gods above, what brings you? Hope there isn't a curse on the settlement or some such.
Well, I heard a switch to an axe.
Is their great lout of a blacksmith. It is a rare feeling to travel across the sea and still find yourself at home.
Yep. Hopefully this quest works this time, because it's frustrating. Like, on my other file, it's also bugged, which is bizarre.
I feel it in my heart.
It is very, very weird that this quest is bugging out somewhat consistently, it looks like. And thank you, by the way, Idritog and Cookie Oaklate for the follows. Seriously? Renvi, get over here. We need you. Renvi. Renvi. Renvi, your door is closed.
That is actually a very good...
Eivor, good day.
That is actually a very good idea.
Renvi, you need to not be here, okay? Restarting the game is supposed to fix this. Oy vey. Fine. We'll do it again. I despise these. Well then, Cookie, you will be very, very happy to learn that in a few weeks, we're going to be doing an entire episode of just the Asgard arc. And talking about all the weird they do that. Because there is so much weird. Also, in the Oxenford Shira arc, where there is just as much weird. But I'll give you like one sneak peek. In Asgard, in this game, Odin's throne has on it 2 ravens representing Hugin and Muin, and 2 lions representing Geri and Freki. Small problem. Gary and Frecky are wolves. Not lions.
This way.
We'll talk about why that is
Found
in a few
fine
weeks.
spot for you at the foot of the hill.
Every hour we traveled, I tried to conjure in my
Okay,
mind some
Valka,
vision of this
third
place.
time's the charm.
And how close were you?
I saw the trees and the water and the rolling hill, but I could not
Or-
foresee so much green. It is a
Well, they do it
magnificent and
deliberately.
calming color.
That's not a mistake. That's a deliberate choice.
Sea-salted eyes.
Valka! Gods above, what brings you? Hope there isn't a curse on the settlement or some such.
Okay, good now. You said this 3 times.
The
You could
only
speak a
curse
little
on this
bit faster,
place
my
is
man.
their great lout of a blacksmith. It is a rare feeling to travel across the sea.
So,
and
what do you
still
think the
find
odds are that
yourself
Valka is just never going to get a house here
place
because
feels
Randvi
powerful,
is just
alive.
stuck?
Do you foresee great things for us?
No need for foresight. I feel it in my heart.
What do you think the odds are? Look at that, she's stuck again. Randvi, stop it! Fine. We're just not going to do this task then. We're not going to do this quest then. Because we have other things to talk about. You'll just have to wait. Let's see. We are never going to get the cattle farm. Actually, I suppose I should check to see if the cattle farm is ready yet. It didn't show up on our list, but that doesn't mean it's not available. Because if it's available, I need to get that one first, because that's got a quest associated with it. Even though I want the hunting lodge, because of course I do. Is that you? No, you're the cartographer. I don't care about cartography. I don't need maps. I do need maps, but shush. Hey, and it worked. One cattle farm later. So, let's take a look at this. And obviously we missed kind of the intro cinematic, because that played at the end of the last stream. But in that cinematic here, they introduce us to the revelers, to the idea that there is a Yule feast, and they mention a god called Yulnir. Yulnir, they say, is the Yule god, which is mostly correct. Yulnir is etymologically related to Yule, the Icelandic word cognate to English Yule. However, Yulnir is not some new or special or otherwise even remotely fancy god. He is Odin, most often. That's just it's another name for Odin, usually. However, sometimes it refers to just kind of all of the gods, and a kind of general,
I acquired some
well,
rather
general
unique items
everything.
on my travels.
So we'll take a look at,
Offered in
there are
exchange
3
for
activities
precious
in
Yule
this,
tokens. Care to see what we have?
which will earn us the tokens, which we can use to get these, which are just reskins. The only 2 of actual value are like these. Well, and the tattoos, I guess. I guess the modernity scheme is useful for us, but these 2 are the ones of actual value for us. Because these are all just a reskin of the Huntsman gear, which is still dumb. The Huntsman gear is still really bad.
I must take.
So, yes, Peter. Somewhere in that vicinity. He has a stupid number of names. And look at that, we have a giant bonfire. So, Yule is, without a doubt, one of the most important annual celebrations.
The rules are 1, you drink until you're the last one standing. 2, end the rules. Want to play?
Alright,
Of course.
we'll play this. It's a drinking contest. It works exactly like all of our other drinking contests in this entire game. Anyway, so since we're talking about drinks, I suppose the first thing here is that well, a lot of drinking did happen at the feasts and general libations of the Yule festivals. The most important one is actually a ritualized drinking, not just a drinking contest like this. Wouldn't be done. Well, let me try that again. It's not that it wouldn't be done. I may have just thrown literally the entire thing right there. Nope, he also choked at the very end. Thank goodness. Whoops. So, the ritual libation would occur after the sacrifices at the main feast, and would come with toasts to the fallen, probably, according to Hákon Saga Goða. This is our main source for this, by the way, is the Saga of Hákon the Good, written by, guess who? Snorri Sturluson. And the libations there come with a sort of promise for peace and prosperity. Árs og friður. Ár og friður. So, prosperity and peace. This has been interpreted, and I think quite plausibly interpreted, as meaning that one of the main deities for the Yule sacrifices and Yule celebrations was not Odin, though Yulnir is a name for Odin most often, but actually Freyr, who Adam of Bremen describes it in the sacrifices at Uppsala as Friho, and says that people pray to him for peace and pleasure.
What is all this?
A new Yule game.
Which
to
means,
test your skill. Twirling targets.
There's a chance that Freyr is actually a deeply important god for this. Notably, Freyr is completely absent from this game.
Put a bow in my hand.
Like, literally, he's just not there. I have not found a reference to him. He hasn't shown up in any of in the Asgard arc. He just seems to be totally absent from this game, despite being one of the 3 primary deities of the period, alongside Odin and Thor. Nope, whiffed that. Well, that's awkward. No, I didn't. I just whiffed like half my shots. What?
You make your ancestors proud.
Wow, they appear to have changed the timing on this a little bit. It's a lot slower, or a lot faster than I... Well, that's I'm not going to make that one, so... Here we go again!
Freya's love, incredible shooting. Glad I bet on you to win this. Freya's love, incredible shooting.
What? How did that one miss? Fine. Rude.
You make this look easy. You're half the way there.
Well, we are not performing super well, but that's okay. We've got time.
Shoot well. You make this look easy.
Got lots of time, actually. Ah, damn, whiffed that. Is that bottom corner one that I keep trying to get and keep being bad at.
You make your ancestors proud.
Oh, that's not good.
Freya's love, incredible shooting.
Yes, thank you for random praise that I totally don't deserve.
I bet on you to win this.
Damn it, I'm not gonna make either of the... Oh, cool, I did make both of them.
Your ancestors proud.
Didn't think I was gonna make them.
Freya's love, incredible shooting. Time's almost up.
Okay, that should give me 5 seconds with all of them? No. It's supposed to give me all of them on the very end. Well, that's only a moderate score. That was not super good. See? There it went.
That was very
fine.
good. perfect, but good.
Fine, I
Care to
don't
try for
actually care.
perfect?
No. No, I don't. I don't care at all. There, we got 30 Yule tokens. By the way, if you own this game, this is the way to grind it up, but there is a fun bug here. If we skip the dialogues, or skip this opening cutscene, then we need to shoot the backwards ones.
You make your ancestors proud.
Which is probably not good for these targets, but we didn't give them time to reset to their initial position, because for some reason they chose to program it wherein the it actually sets the default position of the targets to be backwards during the cutscene, and if you skip the cutscene, then it suddenly doesn't work.
Glad I bet on you to win this.
And now shooting, 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 shooting.
Freya's love, incredible shooting. You're half the way there, Eivor.
Yeah, there is a reason for that.
You make your ancestors proud.
And the Asgard arc will also is when I'll tell you what the really.
Make this look easy.
I'll tell you why why the two Eivors have the same name, despite Eivor being a female name in Old Norse. In the Asgard arc, because that's the first time we'll actually get to play as male Eivor in this playthrough.
You make this look easy. Freya's love, incredible shooting. Time
Well, we cleared 1200.
You've done it! You've achieved
Ta-da.
perfection! I did not think I would ever see...
Not nearly perfection, but that's okay. So yeah, that's the best way to grind up Yule tokens if you really want to get all the stuff here. Alternatively, we could go do these two quests instead, which is what we're gonna do. Quest 1. My dude.
What's happened here?
This place is a
Eivor
mess.
here. Thank the gods above. Though it seems they have forsaken us.
But
I am sorry to tell you.
oh no,
Eivor,
our brewer that we
Tekla
totally have
is
talked to
gone.
more than once.
What? Dead?
No. She's on an errand and left her apprentice in charge. It was him who did all this.
Who is this apprentice?
A fellow called Ake. He'll know what happened here. You need to find him.
Why do I
Me?
need to?
Why not you?
Exactly.
Somebody's got to clean up this mess. Besides, I'm startlingly drunk.
Yeah, I
You
can
go
tell.
on.
By the way, once again, actually super cool, you know?
My cup has run dry. How is anyone meant to survive?
He's
without
obviously
something to
English,
drink?
he's got
I
an
need
English
to
name,
drown my
but he's also
sorrows.
black. And one, again, making your game unfriendly to Nazis is good. Two, also seems to reflect some of the recent genetic studies of long pre-Viking Age. But still a relevant and actual, like, 1,000 meters that way. Lovely. Some of the recent genetic studies for, like, very, very early, like, late Neolithic remains that have been found indicate that, you know, would have dark skin. So, it is not impossible, though it certainly is not actively attested for that to be the case in early medieval Britain as well, just as much as it was long before then. Doesn't mean because dark skin it only correlates with latitude, it doesn't actually like perfectly map onto it. There's no real reason to say that hey, the genetics mean they have to be staggeringly pale. Not how that works, as it turns out. Genetics is way more complicated than that, and anyone who tries to say, oh yes, genetics say XYZ, straightforwardly is lying to you. I mean, Walpurgisnacht isn't celebrated in the Viking Age, which may be kind of hinted at by the fact that it's the feast night of Saint Walpurga. But certainly there is a autumn festival. Anyway, yeah, general kind of background to the Yule Blot or the Yule Sacrifice. The Midwinter Festival seems to have been the most important of the kind of calendrical festivals, as well as the spring one. So you have one in spring and one in midwinter. There is an autumn one, an Equinox Festival, but it doesn't seem to have been as important for the Norse. Other places, that's not true. And there is still some kind of mid-autumn festival present. It just doesn't have the same cultural significance. He's up there, it looks like. Oh wow, the draw distance is hugely longer on high graphics. Okay. Anywho.
Must be okay.
Yep.
It would seem drunks are not the best trackers.
So, let's see. More about the Yule Festival apart from it existed. We'll talk about the actual sacrifice in the next quest, because the next quest actually has us collecting the meat for the feast, which we are collecting the wrong animal. But, and I've already mentioned the ritual drinking. The feast, the horn gets shared around. It's very much a communal sacrifice thing.
You, are you okay?
Who's asking?
Oh, yes, of course.
I am Tekla's friend Eivor. I want to know why you left her brewery in shambles.
Take that back. I'd never do such a thing. It was those Saxon bandits. And I'm gonna slay every last one.
Uh-huh.
Bandits. In Ravensthorpe.
Seem nice enough.
Their facial animations for Eivor are sometimes really, really
We
good.
get drinking, and the next thing I wake up, and the barrels are gone. Now that you're here, we can solve this together. With our fists.
No.
You got bandits drunk. They behaved as bandits do, and now you seek violence. Okay. You're not in a state
By
to
the way,
solve problems.
this armor
Oh, no.
annoys me.
Well, how about I show you the kind of state I'm in? You'll see how a brewer fights.
Lower your fists.
Like the armor set would be really good if totally fantastical, if it weren't for the dumb smoke effect coming off of it. I'm using the Holdufo one. Oh crap, he actually like got me. Awkward. And for some reason I'm not allowed to stun attack him.
You're drunk. Even by the standards of our clan, you're in no state to fight.
What's that supposed to mean, Eivor?
I have no quarrel
Wait,
with you,
a horn?
Looks like you do.
A horn? Why is there a horn?
No,
Those horns only mean one thing, and that is the Order of the Ancients.
Go back to the brewery.
I traveled across the sea to study under a master brewer. Tekla entrusted me with her finest ale,
Wait.
and I lost it.
Aki.
If you knew what it was like to fear losing the faith of the one you admire, you would not be so callous.
I will make you a deal. We'll go get the barrels back. But I will do it. You wait at the boat. No more fighting.
Very well. It must be with the bandits. Call if you need help.
By the way, dude,
Between
also
you and me,
repair your clothing.
Your left jab could use a little work.
Like, Repair your clothing, my guy. And yes, I know that that means there's a zealot near. I just didn't think that there was a zealot. Oh. Nope, there is. He's just right. He's right there. We can probably take him. Nah, actually, I don't know if we can take him. What level are we? 61. We stand a chance. Don't know if we can actually take him, but we might be able to take him. Oh, you're like 200 meters away. Never mind. I don't need to care then. Just don't come closer, please. Thank you. Yes. Zealots are special enemies. They are hard fights for the members of the Order of Ancients. Very low-ranking members, but ones that are kind of built to be, essentially, go forth and problem 1 solved. Problem 2 solved. Nailed it.
All right. Where have they hidden the ale?
Come on. Come over here. Nope, you're too far away. Fine.
They will attack on sight.
We'll do it this way. Flawless. Oh, this is Utbeck. Hang on, I've got a target here, don't I? We can multitask. Found in the Saxon military camp at Utbeck. I have a target here that I can take on. Problem solving. Also, there's treasure and stuff. Oh, what? Are you actually looking at me? Who saw me there? Problem solved. With violence. Exceptional violence. Oh, aren't you? She's out on the coast, I think. So we'll take her out first, and then we'll take a look for other people. You should be close enough to actually want to, like, face me. No? Well, that's not your best. Oh, crap. What? What the hell? Well then. Fascinating. I'd rather get the one with the Dane axe if I can manage it. Detection. Sneak 1000? Sneak 1000. No, that's just a banner, man. None of you are Order of the Ancient members. Where are you? I'll have to, like, find... Actually, I have to look around to find her. Unhelpful. They're gonna make me put effort into my assassinations. Can I just unequip? Let me unequip this, please. There we go. Two-handing the axe that sets itself on fire. Your wish is my command. There's not really a reason to take those guys on. Huh. I mean, last time I saw her, she was just out on the coast, kind of awkwardly. So, let's actually, like, show her location quick. Mark, please. Thank you. Oh yeah, she's just on the coast over there. Okay. Oh, you're all by your lonesomeness too.
I would know those barrels anywhere. She
How did you,
truly is a master.
Eivor? How did you see that? The power of magic vision tells us hi, bye. Plot. And door? We did already talk about Beowulf. We did that earlier in this stream.
But you will not unearth us all. You will not dig deeply enough. We are both a clot and cancer.
Truly, the greatest of marketing departments, calling yourselves cancer.
Are you well?
Why would you ask such a question at such a time as this?
Beneath your words is something of a size unknown, a mystery. It lurks behind every frail word from your mouth.
Stealthy. Oh wait, that's not good.
Now I'm ready.
The snake alerted them? The frickin' snake alerted them.
Knock the idiot down.
Ow.
Innomine Patris.
Seriously? Eivor? Walking. Do you know how to do it? There we go. And then he... What? Why did I get an assassination off on that? I am confused as to what is happening. This game is programmed. I won't say well programmed, but it sure is programmed. Oh no, you're using a flail. Historical inaccuracy alert. You are now on fire for your trouble. How are you? See? On fire.
You won't escape.
Still is a flail. More flails. Stop it. See? Oh, that's even a worse flail. That is truly just a mason chain. Like a morning star on a chain. For some reason. Oh, wait. Hello. One of those. Definitely one of those. Oh, really? You all just love your bleeding flails. Like, I understand the need to have varying weapon types, but I don't actually think this is really all that enjoyable just as a thing to be doing. Like, I don't know, I can't imagine anyone looks at this game at the flail in there and just goes, yeah, that's fine. There's nothing to pay attention to or worry about there. Because it makes no sense. And like, how will you ever not realize that it makes no sense? Anyway, we have a new axe. It's a who's card axe. Hey, and the barrel actually shows up this time. Aw. Oh, by the way, the end of Questmar. Oh, crap. Run the other way. Run the other way. Run faster. So there's actually a boat over here. That we are supposed to go to along the coast of the river here and then sail back into town. But the quest marker says we're just supposed to go back to Ravensthorpe. Some 3,000 meters away. But yeah, when I did the quest here for the sake of on my other playthrough when I was getting ready, the barrel just didn't spawn. Exactly. You understand perfectly. No homeless Carls here. Nope, not what I wanted to do. Pick it up. Collect the raspberries. Huzzah! I know it's a glitch. Oh crap. If you break the barrel, I'm going to be so mad. Okay. Come fight me over here. By the way, this is also not the recommended way to fight a wild boar. On the grounds that, well, oh, what? No. No, 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 no. Where? Where did you go? I swear to God, this game. Yes, you do use a special kind of spear. When in the High Middle Ages, when people like had big organized hunts for boar, you used firstly a lot of people, and then you used dogs to chase it to its thicket, and then to force it out of the thicket on the end. And then the hunters would use a special kind of spear with a thick wing, about a third of the way down the spear. So that way when it charges, you have something that stops it from charging, because otherwise it quite happily will say, oh yeah, no, it's... This is fine. This is all fine. We can just... We can just run at it, and then the gore, it'll gore itself, and then you'll keep going all the way through with no regard for life or limb, and kill you too. Because that does happen sometimes. Pigs are incredibly dangerous and are rightfully feared in the Middle Ages, but also highly desirable because both, you know, useful for eating and for domestic keeping, but comes at a risk. And yes, the barrel did I put the barrel down to be able to fight the boar, and stepped 1 meter too far away from it, and it walked back to where it was. Because why wouldn't it? Yeah. That being said, though, you know, if you don't... Boars are not randomly violent like they are in this game. I mean, I've been reasonably close to wild boar before. And you don't mess with them. But, at the same time, if you're not if they don't find you a threat, if they don't think you're actually immediately encroaching on their territory...
Tickler's ale is safe.
Thank you, Eivor.
Is it?
You
Look
are
at that
a
barrel
hero
and
among
the
heroes.
fact only half of it currently
My final
exists.
request would only be that we keep this matter
Only
between
half of that
us.
barrel currently exists, because it tipped over
I've got a
and
few of these
the
Yule
whole thing
tokens
just
from Norway.
exploded.
Happy to spare them as payment for your kindness.
But
Perhaps you
yes,
can
in
spend
the
them on some
14th century,
fighting lessons.
a kid in France did get eaten got eaten by a pig, which is just horrifying. It was a domestic pig, it wasn't a wild one, it was just a domestic pig. Wandered into the enclosure and it ate him. And they tried the pig and hanged it. Wait, what is this second hit animation? You're using the wolf's head of the axe in order to... Eivor. Jesus. Oh, and I still can't talk to you because this thing still hasn't frickin' worked. And I can't talk to Gunnar to upgrade my gear until after this thing freaking works. Let's see if it works this time. My bet's on no. No, they did not eat the pig because the pig is sacrilegious at that point, having still gonna do it. Hey. Seriously, am I missing something here? Like, is this... Am I missing something? Okay, so it sounds like if I just take it to her tent, I can just fling it to the cutscene. Otherwise I may have to reload the quest one more time here. To just try and beeline out here to get it. Yes, Volca is horribly bugged. And yeah, it is just, nope, huh. Okay, so looks like I may need to like do another main quest thing here. Or the weird. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, I think it is. So I think that is exactly what's happening, where she's just stuck between two things. Let's see if we can resolve that, because we've got a little bit of time here, and the other quest is not very long either. Hey. Talk.
Keep them out of your way when you aren't using them.
Yes,
Welcome
thank you.
Well traveled and rugged. I did. Put them right over there. Keep them out of your way when you
Thank you,
aren't using them.
Chelbert. Like,
That is actually a very good idea.
hey, can I talk to you? Nope, I can't talk to you either, because you're supposed to be over here. Oy vey, fine, we will finish the Yule event, and then hopefully that will reset all the triggers, and if not, we'll restart the game one more time, because I am not dealing with this next episode. Okay, so, Yeah, they're both stuck. So let's go over and do the cattle farm and talk about the actual sacrifice. Because while this game makes a big deal about the bonfire and the revelry and the feast, all of which are, you know, present and important, that's not actually the main point in the Viking Age. The main point is the sacrifice to the gods, and it's a specific animal that's sacrificed for this.
Winfrith, Bertham, you look dour for
In the game, the animal in question is a cow.
My fool of a son,
Or
release the cattle
5
we were
cows,
raising
as
for
the case may
feast.
be.
Just
By the
let
way,
them
we are
go.
incredibly buff and can get
let them go.
5.
Why?
Would you believe it's because I am a lone wolf who says damn the rules?
Uh-huh. Sure, Bertram.
Would you believe I took them to the river
Anyway.
for one last graze, but one of the cows looked at me strangely.
Firstly,
and I got
note
scared.
Eivor is incredibly buff and can carry 5 cows worth of meat just
You want me to get
for
them
free.
back for you?
Take Bertham with you. Perhaps you can protect him from the terrifying cattle. Go on, love. Go with Eivor.
Very
But
well.
Where were you?
the
when
actual
cow frightened
animal
you?
used at the
Across the river.
sacrifices is not
That away.
cow, it's horse.
I'm not genuinely afraid of cattle, but the look in this one's eyes, I thought it might hurt me. They're big cows.
Perhaps this is an opportunity to overcome that fear you claim not to possess.
A horse is a ritually extremely important animal in the Viking Age, and in fact becomes kind of like the hallmark of
This is
pagan
where it
TM
happened.
sacrifices.
They shouldn't be too far.
Good. Let's begin tracking.
Indeed. Let us begin.
Have a look, Sunan. There's one. What do you say we turn this into a hunt? A quicker slaughter and fresh meat for the feast.
All right. But I
Oh,
won't
only
get
4
too
cows
close.
worth of meat. Okay. Hello? There should be one, like, on top of us. Where did it go? It despawned. Or failed to spawn in the first place? As the case may be.
What do you see, Sunan?
Let's head down to the coast up here, though. And Bill Nasty, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. So a horse is kind of the ultimate status.
Look there, Bertham. Another cow. And your first lesson.
All right. Show me.
So step 1, you shoot an arrow into its butt, and step 2, it dies. Anyway, we just pulled the meat off of it, just like that. Just poof. Anyway, so horse is the prestige animal of the Viking Age. It's useful for transportation, for riding, and as a status symbol. As such, in elite context, like, this is the highest quality gift you could give.
What see you, old friend?
Okay, there's one up on the cliff there. Is that the only one? Okay. Yep, it is just up on the cliff. Okay. And yeah, that means horses are very, very often sacrificed.
I understand this is daunting. Even domesticated creatures possess a
so
worthy strength.
let's see.
So,
In funerary
even
context,
slaughtering and
horses
eating
are
them,
the
you
most
must
common
show
animal
respect.
found
I do not
in
begrudge you your feat.
graves.
Thank you.
Dogs are the second most.
I begrudge myself quite a bit. I feel quite foolish.
Bertham, tell me more about Maida. You've quite taken
So
Oh, yes.
because they are so
Remarkable
expensive and so
person.
high status,
Always makes me laugh.
like giving them as a
amazing
gift for the
hunter.
gods is
She's just
extremely important.
Oh, yes. She's a remarkable person.
Always
Always makes me laugh.
giving it as
Amazing hunter.
something less than that, a cow or a sheep, would be kind of an insult to the gods in question. And so they chose horse, and the eating of horse meat is something that was forbidden in Christianity. and so actually caused a lot of trouble.
So brave, skilled, strong.
You only said that line.
You know, pretty, too.
You're fond of her.
Imagine how she feels, huh? Fancied by a
Anyway, that
silly boy who's
was a
way
very
in town.
incoherent answer,
I
but
hope
yeah,
you
that's the
aren't
short
so
of it
annoyed
is
you need to
that
look after me today.
being the highest
And
highest
clean up my
status and
mess.
most
If anything,
dear
this is more
animals
relaxing a day than I
make
have
them the
enjoyed
best
in recent
sacrifices,
memory.
and
I'm
so
no expert tracker. Even watching Sunan grants me insight. Seeing the way she follows trails.
Trails?
yes, please.
Well, I once stepped in manure
Bertram,
and left my own
truly,
prints through the
you
house.
have the most insightful comments
Father
here.
was furious, and he did find me.
You see, tracking is in your blood.
Incredibly insightful, thank you.
Oh, there! I see the last one!
I
Well
should be up
done.
on the rock
You're
there.
now a tracker. Perhaps that can be your role. You track, Maida shoots.
Okay. Yeah. Very,
Oh
very dear animals.
It
Nice
took
shot.
me a moment to believe it. Fine work, Cowfira. You have overcome your...
Yeah. Okay, they talked way too much on this quest.
Thank you, Eivor. Oh, this part is tougher than I thought.
So, yeah, I feel like I didn't answer that one very
Maida
well.
won't believe
But
I've
anyway,
done this.
horse eating
Nor
is
will my
forbidden in
mother.
Christianity. It's not viewed as a, like, I guess, food animal. And so, like, in Haukonar Saga Gotha, King Haukon, who is Christian but okay with paganism, at the Yule Sacrifice is being pressured into...
Were you really scared by a cow? That seems unlikely for a farmer's boy.
Well, if I tell you what really happened, will you tell anyone?
Never.
It's to do with Maida.
Seriously? You're gonna
She's
talk about
always
your
saying
crushes
I'm
then
so
letting me
soft
talk
and
history?
Sweet
Rude.
and kind and lovely.
All good things.
It's terrible. Who wants sweetness? I
Yep.
want to be brave and manly. I thought if I let the animals go, I could hunt them myself and show her I was
Just come down here.
It's terrible. Who wants
Yes,
sweetness?
you already said that.
I want to be brave and manly.
Is it
I
though?
thought if I let the animals go, I could hunt them myself and show her I was a good provider and strong. Then I took out my bow, and the cow did look at me, and I did get frightened. So that part isn't entirely false.
There's nothing wrong with having a good heart. I'm sure Maida's fond of you because you're a kind young man, not in spite of it.
Thank you, Eivor. I hope you're right. But all the same, I do intend to brag. Just a little.
Okay.
I feared
Fine.
asking this of Maida, but do you ever feel sorry for the creatures? That you must hurt them so?
I do not seek to cause them suffering. I aim for the heart.
Yeah, we have
Might be
literally
quick
shot
death.
0 things in the heart, so
Can't
you can
imagine being
stop
so
that,
skilled.
Eivor.
Maida is much the same way. One shot, rabbit dead, clean.
We have shot exactly none things in the heart because I am not that good at aiming, so... Eivor, you... Are you gonna get out of the boat, or are you gonna... You're gonna get out of the boat? Oh, yes. Totally what I meant. Pathfinding. Well-programmed game. Anyway, yeah, Eivor just fixes everyone's problems by doing literally nothing except violence. It's great.
Spare them. Did you manage not to hurt yourself?
Winfred, I give you your son, Bertham, the beast slayer.
Once again, with the random badass names for doing
Beast
literally nothing of note.
You should have seen me out there, Mother. I was a terror with an arrow. But I should go.
Go? Where?
I want to show Maida while the blood is still fresh. See you at the feast.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Well, Eivor, thank you. Whatever
Sure.
you did out there, I'm pleased for it.
So, when an animal is sacrificed at one of these feasts, well, the one in Jesus, this game. Anyway, so in Hakuna Saga Gotha, at the Yule Feast, a horse is sacrificed. Parts of it are left out as sacrifices for the gods in an open-air space, open-air sacred space, while other parts of it, no, you just wandered into the assassin. Why are you talking to Hytham? Where is Hytham? There's Hytham. Anyway, we don't have enough medals for you yet. So, it was supposedly obligated for Haukon as king and therefore presider of the sacrifice to eat the first piece of horseflesh. Being Christian, he didn't like that idea. And so his advisor and the actual, like, religious head, Sigurður, according to Sigurður Kvæði, one poem supposedly from around 900. No, later than that. It's gonna be later than that. Sigurður Kvæði is mid-10th century, so 950-ish. Says, well, just like wrap it in cloth and then symbolically take the bite of it, and then it doesn't touch your lips, and so you don't commit a sin, and you fulfill the obligations. Smart. And so he does, and it works. So, yeah, that's kind of, I guess, the extremely rambly, slow rundown of the sacrifice. But let's talk about the location, because in this game it seems to just there is no actual, like, religious sacrifice. There isn't, but the actual sacrifice supposedly should take place, at least partially, in a hof, or a temple. These god houses bear similarities to the Stavkirkar that we see in this game, but are a lot smaller. A fairly medium-sized one was only about 6 meters long, so it's not big by any metric. But what's helpful for it is actually that... Actually, it's probably about the size of that house right there, with a shield on it. That's probably close in size to what a god house looks like. One description of it claims that when the animal is sacrificed, the blood is collected in bowls and then splashed along the walls, and then sprinkled over the attendant guests, who would be either standing inside the hof or would be watching from outside. This is actually a borrowing from Jewish, this is Snorri's account. He's borrowing from a description of a Jewish sacrifice, because Judaism was perceived of as pagan and therefore it's fine. Ooh, hang on. That's tough. We'll talk about that board game in a moment, after I go shopping.
Show me
so we don't actually know a lot about what the actual procedure of the sacrifice looks like, but some parts of it are without a doubt one, two. I need 5 more to get the last thing I want. Dang it. Fine, we'll go shooting one more time. No, we need to do the Yule Brawl actually. We still need to do this one. So, we don't know a lot about how the procedure of the sacrifice worked, but it is enough to know that it is genuinely old, and that is the main ritual part of this. The worker goat, the Gavla goat, and it's burning, these giant bonfires are all kind of ancillary to that thing. The Yule Blot, the Yule Sacrifice, is the core part of the celebration, and it is, notably, utterly absent here.
Eivor! I have just the thing for you!
But instead, we get to punch
Sunniva.
people.
Nova told me you'd set something up.
This something is, I guess, would count as part of Íþróttir, or sports, of which there are a lot at all sorts of celebrations. Exactly.
And remember, Eivor, the more participants, the bigger the pot. If you ever find any willing fighters, bring them to join in. Now, are you ready to begin, my powerful friend?
Sure, let's do this. These
ready.
Ithrotir sports include foot races, horse races, fist fights, archery contests, and stallion fights. Because horse fighting was incredibly popular, and all sorts of gatherings and festivals would let that be... Ow. Rude. No. Hey. He just fights like a drunkard. Really? He got the hit in there? Rude. Anyway, so in this game, the way this is done is fight to fight to fight, where instead of it being a kind of tournament wrestling match, it's just like a bar fight that takes place in rounds. But this is not really how it would work. In here, like you see, we've got a pretty big arena to work at. And again, there's most of his health gone. Ow. Rude. So, these would be basically marked out in kind of a square, actually. Either like a large cloak or lines drawn in the sand. And if you're pushed out of it, basically like in a actual ceremonial duel to injury or death, or judicial duel, if you stepped outside of it, you lost. If you got pushed outside of it... Oh. Good fight, good fight. If you got pushed out of it, you could re-enter. It just reset it. But if you stepped out of it, you just lost. It's a forfeit. So, instead, the goal is to make the other person yield. Either to kind of trick them to step out of it, or by overcoming them to make them yield. This usually goes okay. Usually. Ah, damn it. Oh, damn it, I walked into that. And, by the way, also, we get drunker the farther we go here. Which is, you know, reasonable, but at the same time, not great, again. So, if there is this kind of... Oh no, there isn't a lot of accounts of being exceptionally drunk, like, during these sports, though certainly drinking had to go on alongside them. The being exceptionally drunk usually occurs at the feasts later, often at wedding feasts. Wedding feasts very regularly get spoiled by the fact that, everyone is too drunk, or that someone important is too drunk. And there's like 80% of his health gone again, because knees to the face are good. Also, yeah, I can barely see. Oh, crap. I can actually barely see right now. Damn it. Could you not? Damn it. Really? I'm hitting the block button on time for that. Weird. Okay, well, that didn't go great, but that's fine. That's totally fine. Next round. Let's keep going. This guy should be the other guy we got. And yeah, we don't heal up all the way. Also, we can no longer target anyone because we're too drunk. But yeah, usually on like wedding feasts, someone gets too drunk and causes a big problem. This is like, that's a stock trope. Oh, no. Wow, he's got a lot of HP. Really should just start dodging everything. Ow. Ah, walked into it again. I don't mind if I lose to him, though I obviously don't want to because that'd be embarrassing. Ow. Fine, we'll use a freaking thing. Ah, once again. He's got like grab reach for days. And without the skill that makes parrying do damage, damn it. Oh! Wait, I win. I think? I can't tell if I win. It hit slow-mo. Yeah, it hit slow-mo right on the end. Continue to the next round in which we'll actually get thrashed. Like, this is not gonna go well. I'll be very surprised if we survive this. But yeah, does anyone have questions, I guess? Because we're getting close to doing the feast and then wrapping up the stream for the day. So does anyone have questions on anything we've talked about today? The Yule feast. Beowulf or any of that stuff. Berserkers. Anything we talked about. Yeah, this guy. Ow. Holy cow. He owned me. Hello? I'm okay with that.
You had a rough outing today, but you still deserve a few tokens.
So that's the entirety of the Yule event. We did the 2 quests, we've done the 3 things, we have enough stuff where we can buy our last tattoo pattern. And yeah, that's basically it. Still, after the Yule bloat, after the Yule Sacrifice, there is a feast. And that feast is where part of the animal gets eaten. At least some of the stuff that there was. Indeed, let's buy the sacrificial altar so we can pretend that there is actually like a sacrifice here. That's not all incredibly boring stuff. Oh, this must be the one that's actually supposed to be. Because I see this is decked out in the garland, therefore... Is this actually supposed to be a thing, or is it just like a storehouse? It's just a storehouse. Okay. Lame. But this is actually the right size-ish for some kind of sacrificial place, though it might have a higher central roof. Anywho. Handling something like Berserkers well. I mean, that's... I don't know, that's kind of... not an easy question to answer because a lot of them get some aspect of kind of berserker-dumb fairly well. Oh, that's a deer. That's a deer. Not a horse. Wrong animal. Try again. Yeah, a lot of them get some aspect of berserkers well, but given that like something like Vinland Saga does its kind of berserk type characters reasonably, but given that at the same time people in the period couldn't agree as to what the heck they were, like couldn't decide what standard it was actually holding them to and what those kind of conditions were. So are they enemies? Are they allies? Are they champions? Are they actually pre-Christian? Are they somehow spooky pagan stuff? Like, the sagas can't decide. They don't have a consistent singular depiction of this is what this character does. So, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to talk about trying to capture all of that complexity, because it's incredibly complex. Anyway, by the way, Wolfhilda finished her poem. It's promised I've completed my manuscript regarding the peculiar series of incidents we encountered in East Anglia. Enclosed is a copy for your perusal. As to your request, names and deeds have been changed in creation of a legend which shall invigorate our nation. So, you know, let's cycle around to where we began before we do the feast.
Terrible day. At least you changed my name. And she got a dragon in.
See, there's our
Always with
dragons.
the dragons.
So, to cycle around, there is this myth that Beowulf is somehow some kind of national epic that was incredibly popular in the period and achieved great force and it was inspirational and taught people stuff and was good. There is one manuscript of Beowulf. It is a copy, probably a copy of a copy. That brings us up to 3 manuscripts of Beowulf. Beowulf was not a popular tale. Well, we don't know how far the oral traditions around it were and whether they existed. Certainly, it never got transcribed. Like, for a medieval text to only exist in one copy is extremely rare and is actually a really problematic sign if you're trying to argue that this thing is somehow actually popular, is actually somehow supposed to be well regarded in the period. That is really improbable when it is so rare. So, instead, actually a lot of our early English poems only exist in a handful of manuscripts. Wanderer, Seafarer, Day or Weedseath. None of those are incredibly popular texts. It's not like the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, which exists in 4 main branches, but with 4 variants, with several variants each. What the hell is going on with these quests? Weird. Volke is still just standing there. Neat. I might have to reload the game, because the fast traveling out to reset the area didn't work. I can't start the feast, so yeah. This is going to be a game reset. Here we go. Going again, doing it again. Meanwhile, yeah, so Beowulf also obviously isn't about England. As I said, well, context for it did exist in the reign of Alfred the Great due to relationships to the Yeats and royal genealogies from that time suddenly starting to incorporate Yeatish figures and shield chafing. But by and large, our big texts that get copied over and over and over are all Christian. They are homilies or sermons. They are... Oh, it did the thing. Oh no. So there's also a bug in this game where after you do the drinking contest, after you do the Yule Brawl, every time you load the game, Eivor will start drunk. Here we are again. But hopefully we can actually do the feast here. Nope. Can't do that. Okay, we're gonna try to do the skip then. So we will grab the box and run like hell to get to our house before everything breaks. Okay, you let me interact with you. Ah, weird. Can I talk with Gunnar? Am I allowed to talk to Gunnar? Nope, I am not. Fascinating. This game is so dang broken, I despise it.
We found a fine spot for you at the foot of the hill.
Every hour we traveled, I tried to
Bye.
conjure in my mind some vision of this place.
And how close were you?
I saw the trees and the water and the rolling hill.
So, the last thing we're doing today is just trying to make this game work. Because, oops. But yeah, we have covered a lot of ground. We've talked about Beowulf and its single manuscript. And we've talked about Berserkers and how they did in fact not consume drugs. They did not do drugs. Come on, skip to the cutscene, skip to the cutscene. Work, please. Hey. Why? This game might be actually perma-busted, because I can't talk to Randvi to start a new questline. I can't make Volka keep moving to make it work. If this save file is actually hardlocked because she just refuses to move.
I saw the trees and the water and the rolling hill, but I could not foresee so much green. It is a magnificent and calming color, a balm for sea-salted eyes.
Volka! Gods above, what brings you? Hope there isn't a curse on the settlement or some such.
Because I can't do another quest. I don't have other quests to do.
The curse on this place is their
Jesus.
great mouth of a blacksmith.
Why?
It
If
is a rare feeling to travel
if this
across the
truly
sea and
is
still find
busted,
oneself at home. This place feels powerful, alive.
Do you foresee great things
yeah,
for us?
it's gonna break again if I'm not careful. Shit. Come on. Come on. Please skip. Please skip. Please. Damn. Skip did not work. So, yeah, this is going to be a time. I'm not sure how we're going to fix this problem. At all. On my other file, I only had to try it like 3 times.
No need for foresight. I feel it in my heart.
Oh. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's very not good. One more try with feeling. Because Volka didn't even make it to the usual spot where she gets stuck. And she wasn't carrying her box anymore. Which means that I suspect that it is now thoroughly broken. So... oh boy, aren't you excited? Truly fun and interesting and has so much... I'll have to reset the area and see if I can talk to Randvi. So we're gonna do it one more time here. Otherwise, Volka will just have to wait till after we finish Cambridge. Or Grantabrig. Yeah. So, on this fun and exciting end point, we're gonna call this a stream, because there's only supposed to be 10 minutes left. And I seem to be... You know what? No, we need a hard lock. We need reload it one more time. So that we can do the feast. Hopefully. Yeah, if I have to load, like... I'll have to go back a full save. I'll do that in the downtime, because I don't want... That'll also prevent me from doing the Beowulf quest. Like, if I'm resetting that far, I need to reset to before I did the Beowulf quest, and to before I did the Berserker quest, and I'm not gonna do that on screen again, because we already did it, and that would be absurd. So, yeah. We're gonna take a look here, see if we can... Nope, I am drunk and also stuck here now. Interesting maneuver. That should have totally reset the quest though. It usually doesn't like being stuck halfway. But yeah. That is especially looking like what we'll need to do is try and resolve this issue off camera. But I'm just hoping that I can ring the bell and do the feast. Nope. No bell ringing here. No soberness here.
Eivor, you're back.
No focus. Holy cow. Please sober up. Eivor? Eivor? Yeah, okay. Game's busted. Well-programmed game. Not. So that's a bit of a downer way to end. But so, final recap quick. In our last couple minutes, we did the Beowulf quest. In which we, in which the game tried to talk about disability, and did it exceptionally, staggeringly poorly. And instead, just made it seem like, you know... exciting. The game crashed. So, I guess this is where we are. I'm not gonna relaunch it, you know? We're just kind of gonna roll with this, because there's only about a minute left. So, we talked to, Sanity's taking a big hit, but it's not due to the history. Though the Beowulf quest was bad. The Beowulf quest is really bad. On that quest, we also saw some Autumn, an archaic Irish script from the 6th century, in East Anglia in the 9th century. Then we went and talked to a Berserker and did a random thing with herbs, but used Nightshade instead of Henbane. And, like, you know, they didn't do Fly Igric as the hallucinogen. Good points. They used Nightshade instead of Henbane. No points. Also, you know, that's not what Berserkers do. But he recruited to our settlement, and so we have a new Jomsviking. We'll talk about the Jomsvikings soon. Then we did the Yule event, and looked at, you know, sacrificing horses instead of cows, and a little bit of, like, what made horses valuable. Their versatility, their general expensiveness, and therefore giving the best possible gift. We also talked about where you would do that sacrifice and the importance of the sacrifices in general. Potentially open air, but also at least partially inside a kind of enclosed temple space. And then the sacrificed parts of it would go outside. And then the feast at the end. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do the feast because the game bugged. And we talked a little about the various sports that we could see. The fact that this game does the sports relatively poorly. And then the game freaked out and bugged and crashed. And that's where we are now. So, next week, we're going to be doing Grantebrig. Continuing with the main story, making progress there. We're going to do Grantebrig, East Anglia, Oxford, and then Asgard as our next 4 weeks of streams. So, we'll be on usual time, usual place, 11 a.m. Saturday for that. And there's also going to be a stream on Wednesday, as per usual, at 7 p.m. Let's take a look at what game we've got there. Cuphead. We're going to take a break from doing medieval history to talk about, look at, like, 1930s animation with Cuphead. And I will be very, very bad at that game. Hope you're looking forward to it. But if you enjoy this, do consider following and subscribing here on Twitch and on YouTube. And make sure you can join my Discord server to talk to me all the rest of the time by clicking on the link in the About section of the stream page. So, I hope you all enjoyed this again, apart from all of the problems, and we will catch you on the next stream. Thanks much, and everyone have a good weekend, and Gleðilegt Jól, to use the Icelandic. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate, I hope it has